Everybody's here, let the good vibes show. Lead united, marching proud and strong. Dancing till the morning, all night long. Oh, we're marching on together, yeah. Good vibes rising, feel it everywhere. Last prediction, Stacy, Renee, Jess, Banner, Army, crew, we're the best. Oh yeah. Day buzz, we're dancing in line. From previews to reviews, it's party time. Fastest finger first, let the quiz begin. Cheering for leads, we always win. Mental health, we're here for you. Laughs and smiles will pull you through. Light it up, let the music play. Spanner Army dancing all the way. Together, yeah. Good vibes rise and feel it everywhere. Last prediction, Stacy, Renee, Jess, Banner, Army, crew, we're the best. Oh
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Jess by Talks Football. Just cry. She's made me do the intro. Right, so this week we're doing it this way, and next week there'll be a slightly different intro because we are now streaming finally to our True Crime Duo channel. So if you're not already subscribed to the True Crime Duo channel, please go subscribe to that one because we'll be doing this more often on that channel. Bit separate from the football.
And they say I have to be the serious one. Look at Susan, I'm not being serious yet.
So, anywho, Jess, would you like to go to the chat?
Yeah, Jules.
Jules is just locking door. Don't worry, Jules. We're not turning up to burgle you, love. We're all sat in our own homes. Don't worry, love. Rosie and Stacey may be later in van, but not right now.
Maybe later, yeah.
The shag wagon will be on the road. Oh. The legs flashing inside. Going,
I reckon Jules has got a nice piano, me. I think we should nick Jules' piano. Get that impression of Jules' house, don't you? Nice big grand piano, big bay window.
Drive around with both.
There's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
Murder. Fucking hellfire. It's only gone. How many glasses of wine she had? Need to do one on that nervy liver Andrews. Liver Andrews?
River?
What's his name, Stacey? It's not liver though, is it?
Prince Andrew.
That's the one. Yeah, please don't have nightmares.
I think he has given up the title completely, from what I've seen.
He has. He stepped back.
Yeah. How many years too late is that, by the way?
Too many years too late. Sorry to say about that.
That'd have been us. It'd have been one-quartered. But you know, used to the
live channel.
Big up, Daz. Wizzy, big up. Oh, that's a great spelling of professionals. What do you think, ladies? That's a bit of a crime in itself, isn't it? That spelling.
Yeah, spelling's a crime.
The professional, a bat for one night only.
Who was on board?
A bat.
Right, let me see how it comes through here. Just this is.
Hang on a minute. We're not doing conspiracies, Jules.
No,
No,
we're
I
doing
sat backstage
crime.
and we seen Lizzie put that and I was roaring laughing.
Is
There we
it?
go.
No.
Ah,
Oh. Big up, Anne.
Just don't look at my comment, Jess. I'm just testing.
Just
I
to
wasn't
say,
being
I
fair.
Big
do.
up, Lizzie. Well, Beverly Allen's very similar, yeah, but that was in 93.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's still insistent she
And
didn't
she's
do it.
worse than her anyway. She's still
She is.
inside her.
yeah, she's
It
still
is because
inside.
Yeah.
she's claiming she's
Yeah.
innocent because she refuses to admit
I
her guilt.
don't think she's
So with
innocent
Lucy
at all.
Letby, Stacey, but we all
Yeah.
know evidence proves different. Well, we'll get into that. But
We'll get into that.
still, she says she's innocent.
But at least I could turn around and say for myself, for the rest of it, I know you knew about it, Jess. I didn't know much about this at all. I knew she what she was done for. Sorry, rephrase that. I know what she was convicted of,
Yes.
but I didn't know to the extent. So I sat down and did 3 documentaries in one night.
You see, I watched, I listened, I learned the fact that she got done for so many and got away with so many. And now they're trying to justify different things, and we'll get through that eventually. No, Stacey's doing a run across.
The thing is with her, though, right? She would have been a very lonely lady, very disturbed, in my opinion. We'll get into that, but listen, you look at some of that evidence and you think, look, if you were a parent, you're getting them sort of cards and stuff. Listen, no sent me no cards or anything like that, and not many would. Stalking on Facebook and stuff like, there's a little bit of weight with this.
Yeah.
Big up, Barb. Cruzy. Norm. Barb. She's got... What's a gravel?
I think she means gavel.
Gravel. The banger.
As in
the hammer.
Hammer. Oh, we should do something like that. Get that little
Gravel.
crime things.
Pee through the keyhole.
Like things that would social crime.
Alison. Can I ask you something before we go? We'll get the silly bit out of the way now.
Yeah.
Who's Gordon Jackson? I don't know who that is.
I have no clue. Hang on, let me Google.
Oh, Jizzy Curtains. Oh my God.
That's for the other channel.
Go on.
Definitely going Liverpool, Jack. But football takes a back seat tonight.
Gordon
I've had enough debate for one day.
Jackson, an actor. Yeah, I was thinking that Jewel or something along them lines.
What you mean? I have to have a look at charity shops.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's face it, you're not going to pick one of them up in today's neck of the woods. Let's be right.
Big magnifying glass.
We'll get into that, Cooper.
I agree. I've had enough of football for one day. We'll get that out of the way, by the way, as well. Leeds lost, we know. Arsenal won, we also know that. We also know that there were a divided opinion on Army Slot. That's now done with. We move on to crime.
This is my thing about Arnie Slot. Your actions speak louder than words. Leave him alone. He's a good man.
Indeed. So I'm ready when you are, Stacey. Jules, would you like to come take a seat on the panel? Because you seem to have a lot to say down there, which is easier for you down there behind your sofa. Would you like to come take a seat? You're more than welcome. It's you ladies. We don't mind having an extra.
But she's not going to do that.
No,
Sorry, I'm
no.
sorry, Dog.
Big up, Brian.
Hiya, Brian.
Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Let me bring this back up.
Oh, here we go with Vindaloo. Here we go. Right, Amir, who's died, when and why, and can I see the evidence sheet, please? Yes, you can. In a minute. Be patient. Vindaloo.
Very patient.
Right, over to you, Stacey, and get foot Vindaloo. I'll get that out there.
Right. Get it out of your system, guys. First stream on crime. We're a bit nervous. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system.
I'm ready. Big up, bud.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right.
I was just told I wasn't allowed.
We can't, can we?
No.
We can't. There's not one stream we can do.
That's professional.
When I see that name, the Blood Files, it reminds me of a crime program.
We're not. We're not, Lee. This is not us. Let's go.
Yeah,
Right.
let's do it.
Cheers to anybody, and let's enjoy. Go.
So I'll add this today. Jess has put a PowerPoint together, bless her. I've got to do the
All
next
right,
one,
then.
apparently.
Look at that picture of her, right? Let's just get into this first. That was a picture of her then. Look how happy she looked there. So what went wrong from her there? Do you get what I'm saying to that mugshot photo where she's with red eyes underneath, withdrawn?
Yeah.
Look how nice the skin is there and everything. Do you get what I mean? The contrast where that picture is a bit later on. In how many years?
But what makes somebody just snap and twist? You know,
What makes somebody go through all that education, which we'll get into in a minute, right? Because in fact, Stacey, you might as well move on to the next slide, to be fair, right? Look, we'll have a look at her background now, where she come from, how she was brought up. There's nothing in there that says to me that she had a cruel upbringing or all like that. So,
right, next slide.
you know, some people have said.
Can else Stacey, I can't even say that.
No, it doesn't have to be the upbringing. It can
Well, this
be
is what
DNA.
we're saying, isn't it? So she wasn't brought up poorly. Look. So she would. I can read that. So she was an only child for a start. So only child, probably spoil, gets what they want, sort of thing. What were it? So a furniture salesman and an accounts clerk. So they're quite good jobs, aren't they? Let's be fair. But they're from money. They're not like poverty or growing up in foster care or anything like that. That's quite a 2.2 family in it. Mum, dad, one daughter, both go out to work. St James is a Church England primary school, and then Aylstone School at Hereford, sixth form college. A friend who knew her since secondary school told the BBC that Letby wanted to become a neonatal nurse because she'd had a difficult birth herself, and she was very grateful for being alive. So does something stem from that she was saved in birth by her mum? Did that make her want to say, look, I know it seems this is very early in, but did that make her want to, I don't mean, this sounds weird, but she didn't mean to kill him, but she wanted to do enough that she could like help him, so she would kind of seem like a hero sort of thing. Because if you look at what she says, they're growing up, that's why she wanted to be a neonatal nurse. Obviously, clearly, when her mum were giving birth to her, she went through some sort of trauma. So maybe like in a weird sort of perverted way, a bit like that what's that Munchausen's disease?
Munchausen's
kids are poorly, but they're not. But like in a way that she just wanted to do enough damage so that she could be seen as like a sort of hero sort of thing.
Hero, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, does that stem why she want what she did in later life? So what we?
Yeah, I think it would come under the. I think it would come under the Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I think it could come under that category because she was inflicting these kind of injuries onto these babies. Then she could come in and be the savior and get all the praise.
But it went wrong.
But it went wrong.
Well, not wrong, but she did it to enough extent that
it caused death.
It caused death.
Death was the initial.
I agree with Stacey in a way, but she also seems like she has some sort of hero complex.
Yeah, that's it. Hero complex. Maybe the first time she did it,
facts.
She didn't intentionally try to kill, but maybe she got a thrill. This is my speculation. She got a thrill because she kept doing it. And you find like that one of the babies, she went back twice to one of the babies. So it makes you think maybe the first time she wanted to do it for the hero complex, and then when she realised she kept getting away with it, she did it more and more and more. And then the few things come into play, like Julia just pointed out, she was fixated on the doctor.
I was just about to say the same thing that Julia just come up with. Was she getting the attention of a doctor that she...
That's one of the speculations that came out in the 3 documentaries I watched. The doctor she was fixated on and was doing this to get this doctor in the same room as her. Her being the hero would got that doctor's attention on her.
See, the thing I can't get is, why would somebody do that, right, to get somebody's attention and they're not getting the attention they desired, but then to still carry it on? I don't understand that. To see babes on that neonatal ward, it's horrendous. You know, it's not an easy feat because I've seen babes on that. I've seen what they look like, and it's not an easy feat. And I mean, my lad were there. He was born 7 weeks early, and he couldn't. He were only tiny. And I don't understand the mentality of someone to go and do that, knowing that this baby, this child is fighting for life, and they just got that right to end it. I don't understand that at all. And I've listened to the stories. I've listened to everything because I like the crime, as you know. And for somebody to do that to a defenseless child who's already fighting to be in this world for Wendy, I don't understand the mentality of somebody like that. It's not right.
So then she obviously gets in at university, studies for 3 years, carrying out placements at Liverpool's Women's Hospital and the Countess of Chester Hospital, and then in a final year of student placement, passed a retrieval placement after requesting a new cesarean. So she failed first time, then passed second time. It said, the assessor said, reported she was lacking in clinical and medication knowledge and needed more experience in picking up on non-verbal signs of anxiety, distress from parents. In a 2024 inquiry, Lightfoot said she had found Letby to be cold. Letby was the first member of her family to study at university and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing with a speciality in children's nursing in September 2011. She completed a placement course at the Liverpool Women's Hospital December 2012. And you look at them interviews, Stacey, she's cold.
Yeah. I think I messaged you, didn't I? Because like I said at the start, I wasn't familiar too much to the where I am now. And I messaged you, didn't I? Saying her interviews, she come across cold, emotionless. There was literally nothing in her voice to show any emotion.
Rock solid.
Exactly. If you think about it, what you have been accused of, to this degree, you wouldn't sit there literally looking nothing. There was no emotion whatsoever. And it makes you think, that's one thing probably why she was convicted, because if I were a jury, it's all circumstantial evidence, I know this. Oh, but that circumstantial evidence is stacked against her massively. And if I was a jury seeing all that evidence and seeing her interviews tape, seeing she was showing no emotion whatsoever, it's like, clearly, if you didn't do it, why aren't you backing yourself up saying, I didn't do this? Where's the emotion?
Don't show any emotion.
Lack of empathy, isn't it?
Like, isn't there some sort of thing? Not lack of empathy. No, I'm thinking of something else. It's called something when you don't show any emotion at all. You're as cold as a stone.
She's not listening to shit. No empathy. But you see, then from my point of view with that is, when you learn to be a carer, I mean, the medication shit, you've got to learn about all that because I did all that. But then you're told not to show emotion to family members, which is really hard because you can't go into somebody's home like I did and become a part of somebody's daily routine, like looking after somebody's mum, dad, brother or sister, or do you know what I mean? Or child. And you can't walk in a room not show emotion with somebody in that family because you have to connect with them on a level that needs to be connected on. We were always told, when you go into somebody's home, don't show no personal feelings or anything like that. You've got to just go in and be stone cold face. And I could never do that. I made some amazing memories with some many lovely people. And not to be able to sit down and discuss things with people, especially parents, that in itself's got to be hard because I know that's what we had to do. But the medical treatment, you had to make sure you knew everything about medicines, what you were giving them, how they all worked, and not to be able to communicate with a parent or a family member is really, really hard because you're not allowed to show them emotion. You've got to be stone cold, and maybe that's why she acts the way she does because that's drilled into you. Because it was well, you can't show emotion to anybody of the family that you actually deal with. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, you've got to ring ambulances and doctors and do all the rest of the stuff that goes with it, but you can't show family emotion. And for me, that was really hard. And I couldn't be like that. And that's not me. And I was just myself. What was that?
Do you want me to read this bit, Jess?
Yeah, you go, Stacey.
So her career.
Jules, give us a minute. We're going through it like proper from start. You can't just get to the middle bit. You've got to do
She
work
wants
your
the
way in.
juice.
I know she wants some juice first. Let's get there.
We'll get there.
You've got to give the context. You've got to give the context to get the evidence. You've got to give the context behind it all.
Yeah.
Right, so Letby, so Letby got an appointment as a registered nurse at the Countess of Chester Hospital, started working in the neonatal unit from January 2nd. She lived a normal life, living in several rented apartments until she bought a house near the hospital, a 20-minute walking distance from her ward. In 2016 and a 2013 staff profile, she said that she was responsible for caring for a wide range of babies requiring various levels of support, and that she enjoyed seeing them progress and supporting their family. Letby also took part in a campaign to raise funds for a new neonatal unit at the hospital. She told others that she found non-intensive care work boring.
Well, that's true. That's
yeah. What's the reward for it? That's what she's saying.
Yeah, she felt there was nothing rewarding in that, which I found is a bit.
Well, yeah, because look, let's be honest. Somebody scraping the knee in A&E is a bit different to saving a baby's life, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's more reward there, more notability. You know, people are looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that raising a knee in A&E. Let's be honest. I know what I'd rather be if I were looking at a profession. I'd want something rewarding. Let's face it, Stacey. Out of my job, filling shelves.
I get that.
At least this job's rewarding. Give something back.
I think her using the word boring isn't.
Didn't. Can I just say something? It probably didn't give her the adrenaline rush she was probably looking for.
Possibly.
I think the issue I have is how she said was boring. I think she could have used a better way of describing, like, she didn't see it as a challenge.
Care work's not boring.
She didn't see it as
a different sort of reward, Dominic Cruzy.
Yeah.
Look, I'll put it long and short. Wiping an 86-year-old's shitty ass ain't appealing to some people. They don't feel rewarded by it. Whereas Cruzy did helping somebody. But helping babies, clearly she were obsessed with babies.
Yeah.
I get that she didn't find.
It doesn't mean I'm obsessed with Foggies.
You did it. It would. She didn't feel any reward by doing that sort of care. Having a baby is a bit different, you know. Notability. It's a different sort of reward. You know, a lot of what care work people do for all people is fantastic, but not for her. She didn't find that rewarding. Saving a baby's life in a neonatal unit.
Yeah,
it's rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it's the word that she uses, boring. That's it's kind of.
It's the way she explains things.
Yeah, she could turn around and say that she found it less, you know, she found it less challenging. She didn't find it rewarding. It's the word of boring. That's just kind of stuck in the back of my mind. It was like, why say boring? There could have been something more professional style, professional wording she could have used to explain why she found it better working in neonatal than the non-intensive care work.
I agree.
What Angel just said, they were poorly babies. But the thing is about babies being in neonatal, they're not all poorly.
They're not all poorly, which we'll find out soon.
Yeah, my son was born 7 weeks early. And he wasn't that. He was underweight, and he just didn't know how to suck a bottle. That was it. He wasn't poorly. So that, for me, makes me think then, ooh, what happened if it had been my lad? And there was nothing wrong with him. He was just underweight because he was born early, and he didn't know how to suck a bottle. That was it. Which it's the same. And he went poorly.
1 minute. Can you understand why we never do polished shows?
Yeah, we're not polished.
But we're trying to sort of be. I don't think people like a different take on us. Right, go, Stacey.
So, Letby completed a specialisation course in neonatal caring in March 2014. She went on for another training placement at Liverpool Women's Hospital in early 2015 and qualified to work with infants in intensive care. Her time there came to under investigation after her conviction in July 2013. Letby and a more senior nurse set the infusion rate for a newborn's morphine at 10 times the correct amount, leading to a suspension from administering controlled drugs by the unit's deputy ward manager. Do you want to just dissect that, or shall I continue?
Well, there's alarm bells there for a start, isn't there?
Yeah, it is.
That would, for me, would set off alarm bells, not just for Letby,
but the other nurse as well, of course. Yeah, both of them.
Because I think
Why
Letby
did the
was the
senior
reason
pick it
why,
up? Yeah, of course.
and the nurse was put
Because
on
let's
leave.
be honest,
Because
right? You go back into it, right? I suppose when my mum had me and your mum had you, nurses were caring because the job wasn't stretched as it was, right? And there were more nurses, and you were in hospital 4 or 5 days when you had a baby. Like my mum used to say to me, like, or when my mum's mum had her, you know, you stayed in and that. Nowadays, let's be honest, I had Harry on the morning, I went out in the evening. You know,
days would be
right? You know, the turnaround is. I said, my mum were in labour with me, something like 55 hours, but that were back in 90s. Look at the turnover now of hospitals, doctors, and the care that you get. It's not like it used to be. I'm not making that excuse either.
No, but you can see it. Me personally, I can see it because there was an 8-year gap between Russell and Zach. And even I said I noticed a difference in care.
Yeah.
Because when I had Zach was in 2004. Like you said, when the NHS wasn't so thin.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses were honestly, I was a young parent, so the nurses were fantastic. They came over to make sure. I had Russell in St James's, and I had Zachary in LGI.
Well, you have
different experiences.
I had Harry in 2010. Mum will back me up here. They left the placenta in me, plastic bag in with baby. I were properly. She cut me down there and fucked me over massively. So my care from them were poor.
Yeah, this is what I mean. From 2004 to 2012,
that's it.
I could see a difference in the care because when I was at Russell,
because when Stacey had Zach,
I was constantly monitored. I was constantly monitored because
Zach, you won't know what you're. I mean, Zach's eyes were bleeding.
It was very spaced out when we're having Zachary. Yeah. And I went into early labour about 18 weeks. I went into hospital because I thought they were. They thought I was having a heart attack. The hospital didn't check me over. They just checked me over and sent me home. I think they waited like 2 or 3 days and sent me home with no painkillers. And the next day, I went to the toilet and my urine was amber. They didn't check my urine or anything. This was at Jimmy's, I think. And then I was back in hospital a day later because the midwife turned around and said my urine was stained a plastic cup. Found out I had gallstones. My gallbladder was packed full of stones, and they still sent me home. Didn't give me no scans or anything. They just
but look, when you had Zach though, I kept saying to the nurse, Zach's eyes are bleeding. She went, it's normal. This is not normal. When you're cleaning a baby down, you don't wipe the eyes and your eyes start to bleed. That's not normal. I'm sorry.
A year later, he needed surgery. A year later, he needed surgery because he had nasal chiral duct obstruction. Missed by the doctors for months. I think Zach was like 4 weeks old, and I went and complained. I said his eyes don't look right because he had no bridge. Nothing. His face was up here was flat. Oh no, it's fine. It'll repair itself. It's fine. Constant back and forth with the doctors because he had conjunctivitis constantly. It wasn't until I moved GPs. The GP turned around and said something is definitely not right. His eyelashes were touching his eyes. That was in 2 appointments with a new doctor. LGI. Literally, I had to go for a few months because they had to wait till about a year old. And they turned around and said something is clearly not wrong because his bridge hasn't developed. He's constantly getting conjunctivitis. And it wasn't like you were giving it to him. It's like because of the long wait, Zachary now is very sensitive around his eyes. Any little bit of thing, if he rubs and rubs and rubs, it spreads and he can go.
Right.
He looks
hang on a minute. So Neo is when babies are born really early and they need either oxygen to survive, medication to survive. Because I'm just to explain it. It's when babies are born really early or like really premature, and the babies need special care and they have a certain place for where babies can go and have the certain care that's needed for them. But saying about I'm the oldest on the panel. Well, I am.
Indeed, you are.
Yeah,
you are.
So I had Stacey in 87 and John in 89. And I had no problem when I had Stacey. The staff were fantastic. I had loads of nurses and doctors around me. Same again when I had John. And then when Russell were born, it was all right then. And then when Zach were born, the total difference of how many people's around at the times when babies were born, it got less because the staff were being treated like shit. You know, they weren't getting paid right. They were working their asses off, you know, and it's still going on today. But that don't give me an excuse to what's being done, whether she's guilty or not. Do you know what I mean? It's not right. Yeah, you see, Drew, I was saying when I was pregnant with Stacey and I was in labour, I went into labour on the Sunday night at 10 o'clock. I went to the clinic on the Monday morning. The doctor said I had another 3 weeks ago, and I told the doctor to piss off politely, but that's a polite version. So from 10 o'clock Sunday night right up until 20 to midnight on Tuesday night, I was in labour with Stacey, and it took a doctor to try and use forceps to get around when they couldn't move her. That was it. I went straight from emergency cesarean. Both of them had 2, and that's it. Never fucking again. Well, no, never again. Cesareans are awful. They are awful. Go, Stacey.
Right, let's go to the second part of this paragraph then.
Let's go.
So Lucy completed a specialisation
I can't really
course.
comment on that matter.
That's fine now. You can comment on other sections if you feel like you've got an opinion on it.
Well, let's face it, we've all had children. Naomi's baby panel.
Yeah.
But you're being well behaved, so well.
Yeah. So Letby completed a specialisation course in neonatal caring in March 2014. She went for another training placement at Liverpool Women's Hospital early. Oh no, I've read that bit. Yeah, no, sorry. Letby, who was upset by the decision, was required to undergo extra training. Her suspension was lifted a week later after she complained to the unit manager. Hang on a minute. This is also this thing I had an issue with. The amount of morphine in that newborn system was lethal.
Yeah.
And she gets away with retraining. Should have been, in my opinion, she should have been struck off there.
Exactly. This is where I think she's got it in her brain. She can get away with this. That when I watched a documentary and that came up, and found out she got a suspension lifted a week later after she complained. I'm wondering if then she's thinking, you know, maybe the cogs have started to turn here. Some say that you're not born a murderer, you develop it. Some say you're born evil, some say you know what I mean? I'm wondering if at that point something triggered in her brain.
Well, let's face it, she got off lightly.
Yeah, exactly. She did. No, she did. So, I mean, I don't understand why she got sorted out to the 10 times the morphine. So that's one incident in start. And then it happens again. And then she's... I don't understand it, why she wasn't suspended and
investigated internally.
Yeah, she was suspended.
That's because I shot her. That's why.
Yeah.
Facts.
So I'm gonna. So she complained to her unit manager who had been on leave during the incident. Letby told colleagues the suspension was an over-escalation, which the deputy ward manager disputed in 2015. She qualified to work with infants in intensive care, and in April 2016, she administered antibiotics to an infant that was not prescribed them, which she misclassified as a minor error. She was reassigned by the ward manager from the night shift to day shifts. In June 2016, Stephen Bray, lead neonatologist, asked management to remove Letby from clinical duties pending an investigation into her conduct. Letby was transferred to the patient experience team in July 2016 and later to the risk and patient safety office, working there until her arrest in 2018.
But the signs were already there, so why wasn't nothing done back then?
A second incident. Why is she allowed?
Over a period of time. Oh, I've got away with one. Oh, another one I've got away with. I tell you what, let's go full hog. If they'd have done the job way back, this would have never happened in fucking first place. Facts. Yeah. Sorry to say it.
Haven't they actually arrested 3 people recently?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, that's a bit later on. It tells you that. Yeah, for culpable homicide.
The thing is, like you just said, Jess, the first time, the 10 times the amount of morphine, then giving antibiotics for a baby that didn't need them.
It'd have been gone for me, so. Come on.
Yeah,
should have been fucking struck off, in my opinion.
Should have been gone then. Because
is it because we're short staffed and we haven't got those specialised nurses? Is it lazy behaviour on NHS as well?
Yeah, I 1000% agree. I reckon at this point, like I said, the cogs are definitely turning in her brain.
Well, she's got away with
Because
it
she's
once.
got away with it the first time.
She might as well go again. And let's face it, look how many she had done before they did catch her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what about she done that they don't even know about? She was training at 2 different hospitals. Let's be honest. Look at Harold Shipman. Saying a fucking more.
Because aren't they actually investigating the liver?
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah. So, the timeline. So, January 2012, Lucy Letby starts work at the Countess of Chester Hospital. I'll just refer to her as Letby, makes it easier. In January 2012, after graduating, she was given a it's given a full-time role on the neonatal ward where she was known as a trusted colleague.
Trusted colleague, yeah. After getting away with that, come on, a trusted colleague.
Early 2015.
Hang on. So when she did the morphine incident where she did it 10 times, right? Why hasn't that come to fruition of where
because she complained, got her suspension lifted, and did the training. So that training was left would have been on file, or because she complied with the training, didn't go on a file. That's what we need to find out.
Morphine 10 times more morphine. Why wasn't it on record that she did it, and why wasn't it still showing when she went somewhere else?
And why she got that job in that specialist unit in the first place with that on your record? You won't give her the job, would you, Sue, if you were looking at it? No, because there was nobody else for it, because yet again, lazy behaviour.
Yeah.
That's like me doing
the divider. Like me giving Tony wrong medication. You know what I mean? To believe it or not, actually, Tony noticed one of his medication, one of his insulins were wrong today. And he said, so I only noticed it because the colour was wrong. So I actually took the pen off of him. I looked at it, and he's got a pen that's got 2 shots and not 1 shot. It's not on a 2 shot, it's on a single shot. So now I've got to go back to my chemist and say, you've given me the wrong stuff. So whether it's an oversight or it's just a general mistake, it can't happen, because that's putting him at risk. And that's giving him his insulin, and it's putting me in the forefront of, I could overdose him with his insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You have to be careful whatever you administrate to somebody, whether it's somebody you look after or it's someone that, has asked for medication. You have to make sure that they're allowed that, and you have to make sure that you're giving the right dose. Because I always say to Tony, what you got to have, he'll say so and so, and I always do it to the amount he says. I'll go, what do you have?
Do it to any human being, innit? Because they'd assess them. That's why she tried babies.
You
can't a baby. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's an easy target.
Yeah,
she's trying to target the easy, that can't talk, that can't relay what's going on with them.
It's a bit like that. Can I just share my experience with that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Basically, when my dad was in hospital, the nurses and everyone taught my mum and me and my brother how to do my dad's meds, because sometimes he can't do it by himself.
Yeah.
And they taught us how to do it at home. Somebody coming in, because he didn't want that. And every time he needs me to do it, or me or my mum or my brother to do it, we'll just start asking, how much is it that you need of one thing? What is it you need? And sort of like either guided how to do it, or you've got to be specifically trained for it.
Yeah, I had a lady I used to look after, and she used to go to comas, and we had to give her an injection because she didn't have no adrenaline in the system. So we had to give her a shot of adrenaline, and we were trained to actually give her it. And she only wanted certain carers. You can't just pick a certain carer. Yeah, I can. There were me and another 2 other carers that could only administer this drug to her in her leg. And I'm like, but you're putting your life in my hands. What if I make that mistake and it's wrong? So you won't. I trust you 100%. You always double check everything you do. You always double check, and then you go back and read. I read everything. You read the manual. You read what drugs are on, and you go back and you check what drugs they've got and make sure they coincide with everything's to the letter. You can't just go in and go, "Oh, I'll give you this." You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to double check everything, and it's difficult. But people don't do that. They're just going up, fuck it, there you go.
So look at this though, right? So in space of 3 years of her doing all this, in early 2015, she then gets to complete a specialist training course. After overdoing that, what she's done previously, they then trust her to go on a specialised training course.
So they knew.
Up, which means she's one of the very few staff on the ward qualified to take care for the sickest babies in the high dependency and intensive care nurseries. So she was one of a few specialists. Says it all, doesn't it?
But you see, I don't get how can she become a specialist when she did what she did twice?
I know. And that's what I'm saying. But there's plenty of opportunities where she could have been stopped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right,
So we'll get
over to you.
Yeah, so we've got baby A. So Letby murders baby A, a twin, by injecting air into his bloodstream. Less than an hour after, she is made his designated nurse. Doctors said the baby boy was in good condition and was breathing in air without extra oxygen help, as being given express breast milk. After a 30-minute handover at 8 p.m, Letby becomes a designated nurse for baby A. At 8:26 p.m, she calls the doctor to the baby's incubator, and the on-call consultant is also alerted. Both the doctor and the consultants noted an odd discoloration on the boy's skin, patches of pink over the blue skin that appear and disappear. Despite resuscitation attempts, baby A dies half an hour later at 8:58 p.m.
Then you see, then again, right, the alarm going off.
So she's given the baby embolism.
Big up, Jamie. Well, that's what we're getting into. I told you we can be polished sometimes. You know, we have got rain.
So baby A has, unfortunately, died.
How long? Well, she kind of did the shifts where there were nobody about. She always did night shifts. You know, not many people like working nights, and especially in a neonatal unit where there's only going to be a couple of nurses or one doctor on duty. Prime opportunity in it. She gets made primary carer for him. Half an hour later, or an hour later, he's dead. Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go into this. There's too many in this, but move on to this on the next slide.
Next slide. So
that's 8th of June.
So 9th of June, she attempts to murder baby B. Letby tries to kill the twin sister of baby A when her parents are persuaded to get some rest after keeping vigil by her bedside following the death of her brother. Her collapse came just 27 hours after baby A's death. She stopped breathing around 12:30 a.m. and looked, as her brother had done, pale white and with this purple blotch discoloration. A designated nurse told the court. An on-call registrar, Dr. Rachel Lammy, is alerted and the baby girl recovers quickly once resuscitated. The court heard the collapse was caused after Letby injected her air into her bloodstream, same method used to kill her brother. So again, embolism.
That's 4 incidents.
That's 4 so far. 1 fatal, 3 not.
The thing is, they've made it quite clear that she's done these things and yet she's still there.
Is there any record of that baby being alive? The one with the 10 times morphine dosage?
It must have survived, it survived that baby. But nobody's mentioned not in court cases.
That baby's alive then.
The baby's still alive, so she never killed him, but she over-thingied him. But
so she's done it 4 times. So at this point, 4 times that we know, one fatality. So
there's a difference between her and Beverly Allen. She injected insulin on it, Beverly Allen. This is a strange mortem of killing somebody this way.
Yeah. Do you know why they use insulin? Because insulin doesn't show a trace.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to that. So Letby murders baby C on June 14th. So it's only a few days. She's opening it up now.
5 days after she's killing somebody else.
So Letby murders baby C. Baby C dies after Letby injects air into his stomach through a nose tube. Problems with his growth in the womb meant he was delivered at just 30 weeks, weighing less than a bag of sugar. Doctors thought he was getting better and his breathing support was reduced. But in the early hours of 14th of June, he suddenly collapsed after his designated nurse leaves the room briefly. He recovers very quickly, but just 15 minutes later collapses again. where Letby is seen at his cot side once more. He stops breathing again, but despite a crash call, does not recover. Just hours after Child T dies, Letby searches on Facebook for the youngster's parents. Suspicious behaviour again. Not only is she murdered the baby, she's finding the parents on Facebook. Shortly after
the baby's died. Come on.
So one we reiterate, all the evidence on Lucy is circumstantial, but as you can see, the circumstantial evidence is piling up to a point where you go, circumstantial, yes.
But isn't that illegal anyway, and a violation of HIPAA?
No, HIPAA is you can't disclose patients' medical records, but it is a violation to a certain extent.
If you get a court order, they can't stop you.
Yeah, I don't think it comes under the HIPAA laws, but I'm sure there's a law where you cannot contact a patient's family unless it's medically necessary. Someone might have to find that out for me, but no, it doesn't come under HIPAA. I could be wrong.
I'll Google that.
Injecting air into somebody's bloodstream. It's a strange modus, and it's not like she's like before with morphine. So she's changed a method, and she's done it.
Modus operandi is changed.
Yeah, it's a strange one to doing it like air. It's not insulin or morphine or stuff like that. Yes, but that's a strange way of doing it. So it's kind of like untraceable and off in a bit. Well, let's face it, she got away with it for so long.
Yeah, because it can be put down as a natural death because it can't really be traced.
Well, they did, didn't they? Let's face it.
They traced it after the fact.
She got caught.
But at the time, they put it down as something else. Well, after the fact.
Well, let's face it. You don't expect a nurse to be killing your kids, do you? Let's be honest.
No.
I've Googled more about contacting. And it says there is no specific law about contacting family when medically unnecessary, but medical professionals must respect the patient's rights to confidentiality and consent.
Julie, can you explain, love? Struggling.
Yeah, but I can't see because I've got full screen and I've got StreamYard thing right across it. So, a few more days later, 22nd of June, 2015, Letby murders baby D. So, do you want to reiterate, some babies were, I think they said the 22, but the ones that I believe discovery is the one she's been found guilty of.
Yeah, but she's already killed 5 already in June. Okay. She ain't stopping, is she? Then look, you go with that one first before I get into it.
I just thought I'd put that in there. So Letby murders baby D by intentionally injecting air into her bloodstream. Baby girl was born with suspected infection and responded well to treatment. Until I was getting a phone call. My mum. Polished. I'll continue. All right. Until she deteriorates and collapses 3 times in early hours of 22nd of June. Following the third collapse, doctors and nurses attempted CPR for 28 minutes and give 6 doses of adrenaline. The baby girl also has the same unusual rash presented on babies A and B and the hallmark of some of the cases in which Letby injected air into the bloodstream of a victim. Letby sends many messages to friends in the wake of baby D's death and the preceding deaths and collapses in which she suggested they could all clearly be explained as natural causes. She tells police she could not explain why she had searched on Facebook for baby D's parents in the aftermath of her death.
Why would you do that, Stacey? Why would you search on Facebook?
Setting up herself.
Come on, that's weird.
Oh, shush. All right. 1 second, just going to mute.
Come on. Let's face it, so you don't go start looking up. Do you come out of doctors and start looking up your doctor on Facebook? Because I know I don't. And I'm assuming they don't look me up on YouTube and watch me sat at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to do, innit? That's an obsession.
All right. It's only archives asking me.
Just don't do that.
Well, not that I'm there, but I'm like.
Well, that's like me coming out of my client's house looking for a family. Oh, let's see what the family looks like. Let's see what the family is. If they're rich or not. You know what I mean? Because carers get a bad name as much as anything. Carers always get a bad name, and there is some really bad fuckers out there. You know, them that do a fantastic job, I take my house from them that do a shit job and take the fucking piss. They just fucking getting rid of. Simple as.
I don't. No.
I mean, I was a carer, but I became a carer, gave medication. I wasn't trained to be a nurse. I wasn't trained to give medication.
Oh.
I had to use my knowledge of knowing what to do that and to sit and do exams and stuff. But I wasn't trained to be a nurse. I wasn't trained to give injections. But we were because we were asked to do it. And I said, I won't do anything unless I'm actually shown and trained how to do something. I wouldn't have done it. But you can't just go to somebody's home and go, right, I'm giving you this injection. Here you go. That's it. Because we had to write everything down. What we gave them, what they had for dinner, what they had for tea, what they drank. If we went for a piss, if we went for a shit, and all that, we had to write every little thing down. So why won't she doing the same thing? If this is what she's done, why aren't she been writing it down? Oh, I did this and I did that. You know, because that's what you're supposed to do. So where's all the paperwork? Where's the trail of paperwork that goes with it? It all seems to have just disappeared.
See, like, Mozart Branda is the same again. Erembulism. And then she's looking for the parents after the fact.
True.
And then obviously she's messaging all her friends.
Well, it's a strange thing
anybody
to
make a friend
search
saying
somebody's baby's parents that have died, but
Exactly.
let's move on to next. This internal review.
So, internal review begins into the deaths in June 2015. Baby E, an identical twin boy, dies after Letby injects air into the bloodstream. He was supposed to be born at Liverpool Women's Centre, but on the day of their birth, the hospital was full, so the mother was sent to the Countess of Chester. As his mother delivers breast milk to the unit, she could hear baby E screaming and sees blood coming out of his mouth. The boy's blood loss eventually amounted to a quarter of all blood in his body, with the doctor saying that he had never seen such a huge bleed in a baby of that size. After a number of collapses, baby E is given CPR for 47 minutes, but the doctor decides not to continue after noting he had been without oxygen for 15 minutes. He is given to his parents to cuddle as he passes away. Letby goes on to show a very unusual interest in baby E's family, with social media searches on them 2 days after the youngster's death, and again on numerous occasions in the following months, including on Christmas Day.
That's sick.
Nobody
does that. That's not wired up right up there, I'm telling you.
No,
definitely not.
You don't do
Come
that.
on. That's weird. More than just weird. Something not right.
So now, August 5th, she attempts to murder baby F. The days after baby E, Letby uses insulin for the first time to poison and attempt to murder his twin brother, baby F. Baby F is prescribed TPM, parental nutrition, bag of fluids, and later suffers an unexpected drop in his blood sugar levels and surge in heart rate. Checks on his insulin levels were carried out, which showed conclusive evidence someone had given him insulin to poison him. No other baby on the neonatal unit was prescribed insulin, so baby F could not have received the drug intended for some other child by negligence.
That's twice with insulin.
That's twice with insulin now, that's right.
Yeah. So
she's changed it again.
Yeah.
So 7th of September, so she's got a month from what we've got here. Letby makes her first attempt to murder baby G, an extremely premature baby girl, by feeding her an excessive amount of milk. Despite her size, baby G vomits out of her cot and onto a nearby chair and the floor. She suffers a collapse and is not breathing. She's moved back to the hospital where she was born. After recovering quickly, she returned to Chester on September 16th. 21st, Letby attempts to murder baby G. Again. Letby makes one more attempt to murder baby G, again by overfeeding and injecting air into her stomach on the morning of 21st of September. After being fed by Letby, the baby girl projectile vomits once more, stops breathing briefly. But she recovers by the time a junior doctor is called and stabilizes herself. Baby G has been left severely disabled as a result of this episode.
But you look at them 3 cases there, so she's done bits and pieces of each in every one of them.
Yeah, she's changed it. and then use both.
Changed it. But look at that last one. Baby G has been left severely disabled as a result of this episode. So she's survived, but she's been scarred for the rest of her life. What an evil bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's an obsession. You're not wired up right, Stacey.
Right now, people are saying she's thing is right. There were people protesting, saying let her free.
I know. And we'll get into that end of it, like the pros and cons. But at the minute reading that, you'd say guilty. Come on. Yeah, come on. Absolutely.
Circumstantial or not,
it's too coincidental, all this. Yeah. Same way. Come on. There's not two of them out there doing it. That's a cruel thing to do, what she's done.
So we jump into 30 September now. Letby tries to murder baby I. Letby makes her first attempt at trying to murder child I, a baby girl, during a day shift. She attempts to inject it into the baby's stomach through neogastric tube.
So that's a breathing tube, isn't it, Stace?
Yeah.
Layman's terms.
Yeah.
Just be...
Yeah, I don't mind going into layman terms. And then she tries twice more on the 2nd of October to murder baby I on the 12th and the 13th of October. In the second alleged incident, a night shift colleague recalls Letby standing in the doorway of a darkened room in the neonatal unit when she notes baby I looked pale. The colleague turns on the light and sees the babe appeared to be at the point of death and was not breathing. An expert paediatrician who reviewed baby I's case concluded the youngster's deteriorations were consistent with deliberate administration of a large amount of air into her stomach via a neogastric tube.
So she's not only actually doing it once.
Neogastric tube, I think, is a feeding tube. It's feeding tube. Exactly one of them in.
Who's that obsessed that they go back and try it 3 times and still hospital don't bat an eyelid?
And then attempt number 3.
Come on.
23rd of October, attempt number 3 to murder baby I. Baby girl collapses in the early hours and requires chest compressions. She is successfully resuscitated and recovers to the extent she shows signs of hunger. Child's I mother is called at home and told she and her partner need to go to the hospital immediately. Less than an hour later, the child's monitor alarm sounds and a colleague of Letby responds to find the nurse standing by the child's incubator. The nurse wanted to intervene as the child I was distressed, but Letby says that she would be able to sort it. Baby I collapses and dies after attempts to revive her, led by a registrar, are unsuccessful. An expert paediatrician believes on the final occasion the child had been injected with air into her bloodstream, which led to her screaming, followed quickly by her collapse. Letby is then said to have sent the baby girl's parents a sympathy card, which the parents still have.
Why would you do that?
Parents have.
See, I don't get that. Why would you just? For me, I mean, right, Vinder's has just made a point that you have to blame someone else. Thing is, Vinder's, right, just to come off subject, no, if the evidence is there to prove she did it, right, like, my mum, 2018, they put a tube down her throat to put into her stomach to feed her because she was gone for a count, my mum. They burst her lung and they admitted it was their fault. So, you know, there's proof that she's actually done this shit. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, there's proof that Letby's done this shit. There's instance of the insulin, the air, the other bits and bats that go in between. They don't just look for somebody to blame if there's no reason for them to blame somebody. They actually have to go through a procedure before they actually blame somebody who's at fault. But when the doctor or a nurse tells you it's their fault, then that's fine.
I agree with that, what she's saying. I don't think, listen, if people had been more on board, this should have been spotted a long time ago. So Jules is spot on in a way where the hospital need looking into for incompetence. Because if anybody in the right mind as a doctor that have gone to university and done all these degrees, why are you worrying why death rate's going up? Because I fucking would be. All them in June, come on. Yeah, and not one of you fucking snake. Fuck off. Yeah. They're incompetent. Not just her, but that hospital's incompetent and all.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree totally. You know, Angels is right that the fact that she got away with it for so long.
That's what we're saying, incompetence. That's why we've gone right back to the start to say why this has stemmed from and gone through it, Vinders. People might find it boring. You can't just go at meat and veg. You've got to do the outskirts.
Got me thorough.
If they'd have done their job then, She wouldn't have gone on to doing what she did because the two things she did before she murdered anybody, I'd have struck her off for them. So when you look at the NHS, you think, I want none of you lot on the ball and spotted it. So there's been a lot of mistakes given. Yes, she's an evil bitch, what she's done. Facts. But there's other people to blame as well. Because if they did a fucking job,
they've allowed to carry on.
If we can notice it, and we're just
if she'd have done that back in the day,
people discussing something in our opinions, but in our opinions, if we can see it, why didn't these qualified, university graduates spot it? Lazy. That's why. Anyway, move on, Steph. Sorry.
Okay, then. No. Especially why is we're discussing
back in the day, if she'd have done it, they'd have struck
I don't
her
know
off.
because fucking Beverly Allen got away with a few.
Yeah.
I think as the years have gone on now, the NHS has declined and the population's growing. You know what it's like, Susie? They can't keep up with demand.
You learned from her.
Well, they should have done.
From Melissa.
Many more nurses have done it. That Norris did it.
Yeah.
There's plenty more out there. You've seen these panorama investigations.
They're
evil bastards. They don't treat you with respect nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Go on, Stacey.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So October 2015, consultants meet with senior management. Senior doctors finally spot a pattern between baby collapses and Lucy Letby's presence. Consultants tried to raise the alarm with senior management, but no one believes anyone was deliberately harming babies.
Yeah, we can all see that.
Yeah.
So that is a red flag to start with.
Yeah.
100%.
That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't think there's a problem with how many babies dying. Well, I do. And so does Roland. So do you. And we're just normal fucking people. So why didn't they?
Yeah.
You're lazy. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do work that went with it. Yeah, well, if you'd have done your job in the first place, she wouldn't have ever killed a fucking baby.
No.
Facts. Anyway, moving on.
We're jumping to February 2016 now, where a second review, internal review, is ordered. A second review is ordered following the unexpected death of 5 babies in just over half a year.
6 months.
And 6 more suffering near death while on the ward. It is referred up to senior managers, with inspectors raising concerns about staffing levels. The report says whilst they find no definitive explanation for increasing mortality rates, they had identified significant gaps in medical and nursing rotas, poor decision making, and insufficient senior cover.
Basically, not enough people on shift.
But the thing is, the middle one we just read out now, right? The fact of the matter is, it's just happened at hospitals in Leeds, St James and LGI, where babies have died, and it's ongoing now, and it's going to court because it's the same scenario where babies have died when they shouldn't have died, and it's not just 1 or 2 babies, it's quite a few. And to think that they misled parents who thought it was okay to have a nurse on a ward who'd already done it a few times before and was already being looked at to carry on doing a job she was killing babies. Where she did or she didn't, she was killing babies. That's what we're doing now at this point, so we'll get to the next bits.
Let's face it, it went right under the nose and they couldn't even see it.
Oh, yeah.
Lazy.
That's like pissing it
Take apart. Look, what she did were evil, but NHS are just as bad because none of them picked up on it. Not till it was too fucking late. Anyway, go on, Stacey, carry on.
Okay, Letby is working. So, 9th of April. So we jumped 2 months. I had to think then. So Letby is working a day shift when she attempts to murder twin boys, babies L and M. She gives an unauthorized dose of insulin to baby L, and while that attack is underway, turns her attention to baby M by administering air into his circulation. Baby M comes close to death after his heart rate and breathing drop dramatically without warning, but improves with the night shift and goes on to make a speedy recovery.
Yeah. See? Yeah. She's
still carrying that on after investigating it.
Yeah, and it's one thing
These are after the second internal review.
Exactly. And still, it's under the nose and they still can't sniff it. Neglect on all fucking sides. I'll tell you.
So, jumping to June now. Letby murder attempts to murder baby N. The baby boy suffers a sudden lowering of his blood oxygen levels to life-threatening levels. Unusual for such a small, premature baby, he is crying and screaming. And he recovers after emergency assistance from the doctors and nurses. Independent medical experts said baby's sudden deterioration was consistent with some kind of inflicted injury or him having received an injection of air. Again, air injection, air embolism. Again. Now, I think this is one of the big cases that is being more well known for Lucy's case. So June 2013, 23rd of June 2016, Letby murders baby O. Baby O, who is in a good condition and stable, suffers a remarkable deterioration as Letby begins work after returning from a holiday in Ibiza. Letby injects his feeding tube with air, which blocks his blood supply, causing him to collapse. Asks a nurse if he should be moved to another nursery to be more closely monitored, but Letby refuses. Around 2:40 p.m, after Letby gives baby O some fluids, he suffers another drop in his oxygen levels and heart rate. He is given oxygen via a mask and intubated. A rash is seen on baby O, similar to those seen in other babies who died. An hour later, baby suddenly collapses again. He briefly stabilizes, but he collapses again and CPR begins. He stabilizes again, but a little over an hour later, CPR begins again. A decision is made to stop resuscitation 25 minutes later, and he's put into his mother's arms. Post-mortem examination found baby O suffered a liver injury akin to a road traffic collision, which experts say cannot have come from CPR.
No, it won't, because it's not.
No.
This is the one that I was shocked with the most. Just the sheer brutality of what that baby went through.
Because I don't understand.
Collapsing.
Well, you still carried on. They still kept in a job.
If that baby survived, that baby would have been disabled.
Yes. There's no way when you give somebody CPR, you affect any other organ in the body.
Exactly, be your ribs, if anything, that be affected, isn't it? Or your breastbone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can break ribs.
Yeah, of course you can from CPR, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think on the baby,
with a baby, you don't do it with fingers like that. You do it with your finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you blow in the nose as well.
CPR could have damaged the liver with two fingers.
There's no chance. Yeah, you do CPR on a baby different to an adult. You know, sorry.
Carry on.
24th of June 2016, Letby murders baby P. Baby P suffers an acute deterioration as preparations are put in place to move him to another hospital. But just before the planned transfer, Letby tells the doctor he's not leaving here alive, is he? Shortly after, baby B collapses and dies.
That's a flag in itself.
That is like major red flag. Literally, the size of the moon red flag. How could they not, at this point, how did the doctor go, hang on a freaking minute here? That comment alone would have raised suspicion to me.
The thing is, it's happened so many times. Why they let it go on for so long? To be quite honest, I think it's a joke. I as a parent, you're putting your child's life in somebody else's hands.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like all the times that something's happened, either with insulin, with morphine, and then with the air. So that's 3 different kinds of things she's done. And it's all the same things over and over again. And they just let her get on with it.
Share free run of that hospital. Do what you fucking want, basically. Why not? Why didn't you give the keys and all like Jimmy Savile? Go full fucking on.
They knew she was up to something and they left her to carry on as a normal nurse.
They should have been held accountable.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So hospital box on July 2016, Letby is removed from the unit. Hospital bosses reached the tipping point and Letby is removed from the unit. Sorry, go on, Nye.
I agree. Go on, Nye.
Yo, nay.
I think I might be playing up.
Go on, Stace, you go.
So I'll restart again. Hospital bodies reached the tipping point, and Letby is removed from the unit following the death of triplet brothers. So now she's killed 3 babies in the same family. Nurses in the neonatal unit are also sent an email telling them, as part of an external review, they will be subject to an individual clinical supervision, beginning with staff involved of many of the acute events. It is claimed Letby has agreed to be the first to undergo the supervision. Letby is put on administrative duties with the patient experience team, thus acting as a 3-month secondment in the risk and patient safety office.
That's in an office.
It finally took until July 2016 to say, I tell you what, this is a bit funny, this.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
September
and she's got
2016.
about a fucking grievance in against him, cheeky bastard.
Letby puts in a formal grievance about her removal. Letby attends the formal review with her union rep for taking out a grievance against the hospital for the move.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's her trying to play innocent.
You're that sick that you'd actually do that to look innocent. Like, she knows how to play the fucking game, all right, doesn't she? Yeah. She's got every side covered. I mean, if she hadn't done it, but no, because she never defended herself in the interviews. Anyway, Stace, move on to the next page. We'll get into that.
Yeah. So, May 2017, police are brought into the investigation. So this is a year later now.
A year later, Stacey. Another year later.
The Countess of Chester Hospital NHS Foundation Trust brings in Cheshire Police to assist with the ongoing review. Hospital bosses issue a statement to say, as a hospital, we have taken the clinical review as far as we can. We have now asked for the input of Cheshire Police to seek assurance that enable us to rule out unnatural causes of death. A year later, another year later, July 2018, Letby is arrested, which you've probably seen on the news and everything now. Letby is arrested on suspicion of 8 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Her home at Arun Avenue, Hereford, is searched by police following her arrest. She's released on bail, pending further inquiries 3 days later. After her arrest, the investigation is widened to include Liverpool Women's Hospital. No evidence that patients at the hospital came to any harm was found during the investigation. If I am not mistaken, I don't know.
So another year later before she's rearrested. So, you know, they do all this investigating and everything else. So it's another year. So she'll have still been getting paid at that time. And another year
I don't know if you put this in, Jess. Have you put it in about her attending a wedding?
I don't think so, Stace, but we'll get into that as we go in.
Yeah, because I think this is in that time slot when she's on bail. I think it's the first or second time she's on bail.
So what's this? Letby is arrested a second time on suspicion of 8 murders, 9 attempted murders. Bailed again because they've got no evidence.
Yeah.
Basically bailed pending further inquiries.
Yeah.
So
they don't think it's enough. Or it's either they don't think it's enough at this point, or the police
CPS won't give enough to charge. That's right. So they'll have to re-bail her basically.
Yeah. So next slide. 10th of November 2020. She's Letby arrested for the third time. Letby
another year later then after this then, Stacey. That's another year down the line. Right.
Letby is charged with 8 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder. She's denied bail and remanded in police custody.
Thank God.
And a year later. Oh no, 2 years later, sorry.
So 2 years later. So they'll be still investigating in that time, though, Stacey. They'll have still been doing inquiries and everything else on her.
And then the COVID as well to deal with.
Yeah.
Yep. So 10th of October, Letby's trial begins at Manchester Crown Court. The trial of Letby begins at Manchester Crown Court. She pleads not guilty to 7 counts of murder and 15 counts of attempted murder relating to 10 babies. After 9 months, on the 10th of July 2023, the jury are sent out to consider their verdict. 18th of August 23, Letby is found guilty of 14 of 22 charges against her. After 22 days of deliberation, the jury found Letby guilty of murdering 7 newborn babies and attempted to murder a further 7 more. After the trial, Letby was transferred to HMP Lord Newton, close prison for women in County Durham. As of January 24, Letby is being held at HM Prison, Bronzefield. We'll discuss that part, and I'll just do that bit. To the bit that Jules wants us to go to.
So these are the cards that were sent to the parents, and these letters
Yes.
that they found in her possession. One
possession, yes.
Come on, then.
See, this is the
ladies.
picture I was talking about.
The card, I can sort of understand in a way if you are, like when I had Harriet's, the fucking receptionist ordered a card for Harry, congratulations. So that card I can sort of understand with. But them notes,
it's not that.
How would you write them?
No.
Come on.
See, if I'm not mistaken, the picture here, Jess, is when she was raising the funds. Because this looks like a promotional photo. Oh, look what I've done.
Yeah, so that's when she was promoting. That is when she was promoting the fucking, like you say, for the charity of the neonatal unit. But then those two letters, and there's more on the next page, Dace, if you twist over.
But back to what Jess said at the beginning. The photo Jess used at the start of the
She still looks pretty there, isn't she? Look at her mugshot there. Look how withdrawn she looks there. From that picture a couple of years, even just to the last page, and look at her there.
Right, let me go to next page.
I mean, 1 minute stays like you've got hate, and all this stuff.
I'll go back.
Well, just look at that. Why would you write that, Stace?
Exactly.
Come on.
And she put there, I'm an awful person.
Exactly.
All right, now, darling.
I am evil. I did this.
Yeah. So, no motive was upheld by the court, though it is not required for finding of guilty. The prosecution in Letby's case suggested several theories, including boredom, thrill-seeking, and playing God. I think someone said playing God in the chat. As possible motives. They also alleged that Letby had a secret relationship with a married doctor involved in some of the cases. As evidence, they cited Letby's frequent texts to him on certain night shifts, as well as a piece of paper from Letby's office where she had written phrases including, I trusted you with everything and loved you. You were my best friend, and please help me. Letby denied all these allegations, including the idea that she had a relationship with or crush on the doctor in question. The former detective who acted as lead investigator on the 1990s Beverly Elite case drew parallels between Elit's and Letby's cases, suggesting that Letby might have copied Elit's methods. Criminal psychologist Dominic Wilmot and David Holmes suggested that Letby may have been motivated by fictitious disorder imposed on another. A theory also proposed about Elliot. David Wilson, a emeritus professor of criminology, published in August 2023 opinion piece in The Guardian, and argued that Letby was driven by a hero complex. Later that month, Wilson discussed Letby on Newsnight, where he argued that healthcare killers join the profession in order to target vulnerable victims, such as the very old or very young. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this Wilson has been in a lot of documentaries, hasn't he, Jess?
Yeah, we're in that one on Channel 4. He's a Scottish bloke. He's really good, though. No, he's a criminologist.
He is a fantastic criminologist. And if he's saying that, you take it by gospel, because he is one of the best.
Don't go. Keep discussing this slide. I need to go for a wee.
Okay, darling. Let me just
wait, Mervyn. We're actually going to get into her side. We have done his research on this, by the way. And
yeah,
so,
we have.
If you hold on, you'll see what she's saying as well. So just before you jump the gun, I actually have done my research on it.
The research. I've actually downloaded, and the chat on the other channel will back me up. I downloaded a 58-page document on her court case, the judiciary website. 58 pages. We compressed all that information into this slide. We have done excessive research. I've watched.
Yeah, you did though. You did, to be fair, Stace.
Yeah, hang on a minute. But what are they supposed to look like? You know, I mean,
right.
I don't understand.
Dude, right, hang on a minute.
Of what they're supposed to look like.
No one can see him.
I don't get that.
1 minute. So you're criticising me downloading a 58-page from the judiciary system? Is that not research? Watching numerous documentaries, numerous news articles, reading the professional opinions and stuff.
Anyway, move on, Station. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to be a bit of a sticky
To be
stick.
fair, it ain't coming through mine. It's coming through Crime Channel.
It's from the True Crime Duo channel.
Yeah. Go on, Stacey, let's go. He's allowed his opinion at the end of the day. If that's
Yeah.
what he believes, listen to it.
But I think they can be, I read 58 pages, a bit contradictory, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a. On March 13th, 2020, while out on bail, Letby was placed on interim suspension by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. On 18th of August 2023, Andrea Sutcliffe, Chief Executive Registrar of the Nursing and Midwifery Council, stated that Letby remains suspended from a register, and we will now move forward with a regulatory action seeking to strike her off the registry. Letby was removed from the nursing register on 12th of December 2023, having informed the Nursing and Midwifery Council that she did not accept guilt, but did not contest the removal.
Well, come on then. If you haven't done it, why didn't you contest your removal then?
Exactly.
Why you just accepted it then? If you hadn't done it, you'd contest it all the way to I. Well, I would.
Yeah.
Come on, Susie, if you were getting accused of something and you hadn't done it, you'd contest that.
Yes.
You would?
Yeah.
She did not accept guilt.
Just to roll
but
over and say, yeah, that's fine. Come on.
Yeah, no,
So retrial. So she got a retrial. At a hearing on 25th of September 2023, CPS confirmed that there would be a retrial on one of the 6 counts of attempted murder against Letby, on which the jury at the original trial could not reach a verdict. This was not the start until after judges had decided whether or not to grant Letby permission to appeal against her existing convictions. The retrial started on 10th of June 24. On 2nd of July, Letby was found guilty of attempted murder. On the 5th of July 2024, was sentenced to another whole life order. On 24th of October 24, Letby appealed for permission to appeal against this conviction on the grounds that prejudicial media coverage should have prevented the trial from proceeding. Courts of Appeal rejected Letby's application.
Why? Why is she not in a position to contest it? If she hadn't done it, you'd contest it, Mervyn.
Well, technically, she has been contesting it. She's demanding a retrial. That is her contesting it. Am I, ladies, chat? Am I wrong? Her.
She's contesting it. She's never admitted it. She's innocent now, so she's contesting what they've said. Well, yeah, but she's still. If you wait, you'll see what I've put at the end. She is still contesting it because she's just got herself an all new fucking panel. So just fire. Go on, Stace, go.
Following the verdict, it was reported that the police were investigating whether Letby harmed other babies. There was a continuing investigation of incidents which detectives has identified as suspicious at the Countess of Chester Hospital, involved around 30 other infants. Neonatologists looked about 4,000 admissions at the hospital and Liverpool Women's Hospital, where Letby had worked from 2012 to 2015, were to pass on any cases of unexpected and unexplained deteriorations to the police. At least one family was told by police the birth of their child at the latter hospital was part of the inquiry. Cheshire Police have said that the further charges could possibly be brought against Letby as a result of those further investigations. They have interviewed Letby under caution about the deaths of the two hospitals. On 2nd of July 2025, the Crown Prosecution Services confirmed that it was considering further charges based on new evidence from Cheshire Police. On 4th of October 23, Cheshire Constability Base announced an investigation into corporate manslaughter at the Countess of Chester Hospital. On 1st of July 25, 3 people who were part of the senior leadership team were arrested on suspicion of gross negligence manslaughter. So it's not just Lucy that's been done. 3 other people.
It's not Lucy. I agree. There's more than Lucy that should have been charged with that.
And there we go. In September 24.
I've got a quick question, if you don't mind me asking.
Go ahead.
Feel free now. Just 1 minute now. Mervyn, we don't even know who you are. We've never seen you before. Why would we send you a StreamYard link to come on channel? We don't even know you.
Nope.
Ask away now.
I think it's a bit pushy. I'm sorry, but I think Mervyn's a bit a little pushy here right now. And the fact that
this is just our opinion at the end of the day. We might be wrong, but this is just our opinions on discussing a case. You might be right. You might be wrong. But we'll carry on. Go on now. Go on now.
You know,
It's coming through Crime Channel. I'm not.
Deaths that have occurred of these babies.
Yeah.
Surely.
Do you know now we can't know, we don't know what you're saying. Wait till she gets back with us.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll go back to you now when you've got your microphone sorted out, sweetheart.
Go on
So,
now.
oh no, I've wrong way. Sorry.
Ow.
So in September 24, the gentleman in the chat would have waited.
Yeah.
Letby appointed a new defence lawyer, Mark McDonald.
Just wait.
As part of a press conference in December 24, McDonald
Which I
announced that he
watched.
was preparing. Yeah, so did I. New
So did I.
applications to both the Court of Appeal and the Criminal Case Review Commission. From what I have seen, she has wasted her appeals. So the next step is go to the Criminal Case Review Commission, which is what they're doing. He argued that the prosecution's lead expert witness, Dewey Evans, was unreliable, as Evans had changed his mind about how some of the infants had died. McDonald also said that go on.
Mervyn, we're not even. We'll discuss whether we think she's guilty or not at the end of the stream. We're not saying that. I've put evidence in for and against. So if you're just on fire, you'll see what we all think. Go on, Stacey. Carry on.
That's what I want now. All right. McDonald also said that several experts were working unpaid on reports into infant deaths and episodes, with 2 reports on child C and child O already completed and finding no deliberate harm. Following the press conference, Evans denied changing his mind and described McDonald's criticisms as unsubstantiated, unfounded, and inaccurate. He said that the date of child C's death was the only change in his evidence and that this was the result of a simple error by the prosecution. His post-trial comments were about the mode of death of some infants contradicted positions he took as a witness at the trial. On February 4th, 2025, Letby's legal team applied for her case to be reviewed as a potential miscarriage of justice. Coinciding with this application, findings from a panel of 14 international medical experts were released. The panel was chaired by Soho Lee, a retired neonatologist from the University of Toronto. The panel concluded there was no medical evidence to support claims that Letby deliberately harmed or murdered babies to natural causes or substandard medical. I've skipped a bit there. Sorry, I do apologise. Babies at the County of Cheshire Hospital. Instead, they attributed many of the babies' deaths to natural causes or substandard medical care, highlighted issues such as inadequate staffing and delays in essential treatments. These findings challenge Letby's convictions, concluding that the deaths were due to factors unrelated to any deliberate actions on her part.
There you go.
Right.
Look, if you want to be really honest, Stace, you have to look at her defence team and say, why did they never call any independent witnesses as doctors or physicians? They never did. They brought one witness and it was a plumber. So before this guy gets on his case about me not giving Lucy Letby a fair trial, if you wait till I got to this part, why did her defence team never bring anybody medical into it bar a plumber? Come on, Stacey.
She didn't take go on the stand. Did she take the stand, Jess?
I don't think she did, no. But if you look, why didn't her defence team say, right, we need to get some independent experts in that field to say and counteract that and say, well, they should have been there. But they never did. So it makes you wonder why her defence team didn't do that and the safety of the convictions in a respect.
Target.
Well, was she an easy target to pin it on?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not. That guy didn't give me a chance.
Yeah.
We're not even we're 3/4 of the way through now to where we got to this part where you say you look at it and you think, wow,
well, Mervyn,
these questions to be
you're not coming on screen. You're not coming on screen. If you've got an opinion, put it in the chat.
No.
That way everybody can see your opinion.
The thing about this programme is that we start off with that what we think, we discuss it,
you've got to put the
speak
evidence
right again, and then at the end we discuss what we all think.
And not start a bit of where she grown up, where she was in this, and that. Because if I just put this part in, nobody had no story. I've got to go through the back bit to get to the meat and veg. Facts. Carry on, Stace, anyway.
So Letby has always maintained her innocence and had the support of friends and some former colleagues. Some medical, statistical, and scientific experts have also expressed doubts about her convictions. That Letby's defence only called 2 witnesses at her trial. Also, she did give evidence. Sorry, Letby herself and a plumber.
Exactly.
Has been taken by some to suggest that the jury did not get a fair opportunity to hear a balanced view.
I agree with that. Yeah, and I agree with that.
I do agree with that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
Agree with that. Yeah, facts.
Since the conclusion of a second trial in July 24 and the lifting of the associated reporting restrictions, some of these concerns have been published in the press. The appeal court has rejected several arguments around the safety of the convictions. Much of the medical evidence used in the trial has come under criticism from experts across a range of specialities, including neonatology, pathology, nursing, biochemistry, forensic toxicology, and others. Move that mouse. Under scrutiny have been the prosecution's claims that the infants were stable before the incident, that other explanations could be ruled out, and that the alleged methods of attack were plausible. The overturning of the original pathologist's report to the infant's death have drawn controversy. The majority of the infants Letby was convicted of murdering had undergone autopsies, and none of the original pathologist reports had suspected an unnatural death. In February 25, a panel of 40 international experts convened by neonatologist Shu Li presented findings from their own investigation into the deaths and collapses. They concluded that all the incidents could have been explained by natural causes or substandard care, or both, finding no evidence of deliberate harm. I do apologise. The following subsections highlight some of the concerns raised prior to this expert panel investigation, as well as some from the information currently publicly available about the findings from the panel.
Now, I did watch that, and when you listen to it, you kind of did then wonder and think, well, this is interesting. You got to admit, there is grounds for her to appeal. Yeah. Even though you look at all that circumstantial evidence and you say, well, it does all point to her. When you see, if people are to just give us a chance, when you do get to this part and a different defense lawyer who seems decent and, a bit up there, these questions to be asked, especially on appeal, because if you look at it really, it's all right, all prosecution giving their evidence, but if they never called any independent witnesses, did she really get a fair trial in that respect? Because they didn't hear both sides, because I'm sure with the defense, their specialists would have had a different opinion to what the prosecution would have had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Before people jump gun, you know what I mean? That you look at that and you think, well, could it have been her? They pinned it on her because she would have an easy way out. I'm just playing devil's advocate and giving both sides of my opinion. I'll make my mind up and feel free to.
Maybe jump then. I know they're about charging a couple of doctors or something.
3.
Because it's a 3, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way. Carry on, Stacey, love.
Right. Oh, just read what I just put.
So, injury, liver injury, air embolism, criticism of witnesses, witness staff, and infrastructure issues, interpretation of handwritten notes, expert panel investigation. This is what was in the case. Air via neogastric tube, mislabeled door, swipe data. Dislodged breathing tube, quality of statistical evidence, reaction to doubt, no expert witnesses called for the defence.
So that's a reason to appeal, crew.
So see, from my point of view on this one is, can't explain the insulin because the insulin doesn't come from the liver, it comes from the pancreas. So I can't explain why there were an increase of insulin. So I don't understand that. Now, the air embolism, you've got to make sure when you're injecting somebody, you flip the thing in because there's always air in the needle. So that
you can dislodge a breathing mass accidentally as well.
Yeah. Do you know what?
It could have been accidental, but all said and done.
Yeah. Well, the feeding tube.
But why did her defence team call any expert witnesses? You do have to ask that, Cruzy, like, why were nobody called on her side? Why did her defence just put a plumber out there? Look, if Lucy Letby were my case, I would be getting as many expert witnesses.
Oh, what do you mean, Melvin? If you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all.
Indeed. You don't have to watch it, do you, Melvin, mate?
No, go away.
Can I get rid of
Are you a judge? Are you a solicitor? Are you
feel free.
Bloody hell.
You look, do right. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. You are coming in very hot and very, very egotistical.
Yeah.
We are expressing our opinion.
Sorry, guys.
Exactly, our opinion.
We've made a mix-up. And you're coming for us because we made a mix-up.
That's yeah, and it met Drool or a mod in there. Go comment in there, and Stacey will make you a mod.
Yeah. See, like
Carry
I said,
on,
right,
Stacey. It's not somebody that comes in half.
I haven't got a clue what the insulin will be because, like I said, the insulin comes from the pancreas, and I know that because that's why you become a diabetic if your insulin, if pancreas stops. Embolism easily done. Give an injection. You always got to make sure you flick it or you squirt it out to make sure there's nowhere in the needle or in the tube itself. So I know them to wear. Dislodged breathing tube. Yes, it can happen. John pulled his out when he was in baby's neonatal unit. He actually pulled his feeding tube out, and that's what I said, try one in the bottle. So that can happen. A baby can grab the feeding tube and pull it out. So yeah, that's another one I can honestly say I've seen that happen with. Now, reaction to doubt. Why are there no witnesses to say she did or she didn't? I don't get that.
That is true. There's nobody seen her do it.
Yeah, there's nobody seen her do it.
True.
So why they know? And you don't. What it means by air embolism is when you put a needle in and it's got air in it and you squeeze it into the tube. It's not done by DNA. It's done by squeezing air into a tube from an injection or from a needle. I mean, mislabeled door swipe data.
That's when you're swiping in and out at doors and it's all locked in out there. So this is what she's used as her grounds to appeal. Yeah,
the thing is, right, when I did care, we used to go to people's houses that you had codes to get in doors, like the flats. And and after a certain time, staff used to walk in. In fact, you could walk in before a certain time and get into a block of flats because your class says, I can't remember what it is now, workmen. So that's an easy mistake to be done. Or somebody had a card or had a copy. And you can use your card. That's easily done. But criticism of the staff, I agree. Why won't they sort of like put into interrogation and discuss why you do this? I mean, I've been around hospitals. I've seen my mum fight for her life on more one occasion. And the point of where they thought she actually died. In fact, no, to be honest, she actually did die. They actually had to jump on her chest and give her an injection in her chest because it was their fault. She had no fucking oxygen in the body. Her lungs got stuck. They actually admitted it was their fault. She died in her bed and they had to save her life. So I've been there. I've seen it all. And I've seen the reactions that doctors and nurses give to you after a mistake. When my mum's mistake, when they say, no doctor would come near me or my dad because we were questioning the fact, why did it happen? So I understand the reaction of parents as well in that place. If she was being forthcoming, right, and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I understand that you're young'un, why didn't that happen? I mean, I don't understand the card bit. I find that a little bit, I don't know, Stacey's probably a little bit upset now, but yeah, I get it. I spent a lot of time with my mum in hospital and I've done it myself as a job. So some of them, you can explain about the thingy. I mean, reaction to doubt. Yeah, where's all the witnesses? Why did they do that? Why didn't they bring all the witnesses forward to say, oh yeah, we saw her doing the injections, we saw him doing this, we saw him doing that. Where are they all? There's not one of them that's come forward. I've seen it.
Her defence not calling any expert witnesses.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Look, we all know you can knock the mask. It's proven on next slide, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, liver injury. So, you know, if you look at it and you think, well, she has got certain grounds for appeal, but I would have been looking at her defence team because they were piss poor.
Yeah. I mean, when you're giving baby CPR, you don't do it like you do an adult anyway. And you don't even go near liver. So I don't understand where the liver injuries come from on that. I find that a little bit... I don't understand that. Like I said, the insulin, I understand the insulin because I know about the insulin because I do Tony's insulin, so it's all here. And the embolism, I understand that. The criticism witnesses, where were they all? Why didn't they come forward? They're all saying, oh yeah, she did it. Well, then why aren't you coming forward and saying you actually saw her do it? Unless you can actually physically say, we saw her do it, there's no evidence to prove it. Because it could have been another member of staff that had done it. I mean, like I said, I understand the embolism, and most I understand anyway. I just don't understand why there were nobody to come forward and said, yeah, we saw her doing it.
And some people, I'll just leave it at this, have a sick obsession with Lucy Letby.
Yeah.
Hey, I like this channel. I can't see Jules anywhere in the comments. I love you, Jules. Oh, the grief is bad, thank you, Vindas. Let me just go for a wee, and then we'll move on to the next slide. I need to.
Yeah.
See, can you understand why I didn't do Lucy Lampo as well? Susie Lampo. Would have been here all fucking night.
Yeah, that's true. Julie, can you do me a favour, sweetheart? Can you check your comments at Facebook, please? When you've got 2 seconds.
We don't know what the fuck Merv is. He just try to be clever.
Well, let's just leave that person in the background, please.
The thing is, right, is a lot of speculation about what she has done and what she hasn't done. Where's the proof? Has she done it or has she done it? Can't understand it. I mean, like I said, I can explain some of them on there about the air. I don't understand the liver injury, because why would you give CPR in a liver? Because you don't. And you don't give the baby CPR like you do an adult anyway. It's totally different. It's totally
it's other channel. Where's?
Yeah.
Next.
I just think it's a joke. I think she didn't have the best defence.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
She did not have the best defence. Agreed. Because if she had a good defence, they would have brought more than just herself and a plumber in to back her up.
What the fuck's a plumber? What's the plumber got to do with it?
When I
Why would you call a fucking plumber?
When I first heard that they brought a plumber on in her defence, I'm like, a plumber?
I don't understand why they brought a plumber in. I don't.
To say that the hospital had bad fucking drainage and stuff like that.
Well, you see, the thing is, well, as you all know, that they plug the stuff into the wall where all the air comes through and the oxygen comes through and all the other stuff comes through. So, I mean, there could have been a blockage in that lot that's caused it. You know what I mean?
Very well could have been, you know.
Now, you see, I don't know about that, Anne. Maybe it's a guilt of how she felt about... See, this is it. It's all right saying she felt guilty and she's done that with all the best. But you see, then is it the guilt of that it's happened while she's been on shift and she feels guilty for not stopping it? Do you know what I mean? There's so many scenarios.
There's different ways of interpreting it, but
exactly,
was she feeling bad because she didn't feel like she did her job properly? Did people's interpretation of those notes go further than they actually meant? Yeah. Maybe. And she has got that in there. Is this a new slide, Stace?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what were you doing?
I'll put the next one. Because when I first heard about these notes, I asked you, didn't I, Jess, has she had any form of therapy?
Well, yeah, come on, let's be honest. Dealing with that every day, that must take a toll on you. If you're not human, come on, we've all got empathy. Yeah. If you worked out and see their babies dying every day and you couldn't help them, maybe that would be a way of venting frustration, is writing it down and people have interpreted it wrong. It can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. Yeah, Carl, we know. We've checked. Go on, Stace, carry on.
Just seen it as well.
Yeah, this guy's obsessed with Lucy Letby, by the way. He's done at least 65 videos on her. It's an obsession. Don't worry about this guy.
Oh, he's obsessed, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's
go.
Stace. I did my research. See? Research, dude. Anywho, right. Expert panel investigation. Let's move on.
By expert panel, she doesn't mean no.
22-23 trial, prosecution's expert witness, Dewey Evans, referred to an 1989 article written by Shu Lee, Canadian neonatologist, to diagnose embolism as a mechanism of murder of babies. Lee, the president of the Canadian Neonatal Foundation, was not called as an expert witness during Letby's trial and, living in Canada, did not hear about the use of his research until after the verdict. Upon learning about the case, he became concerned that his research had been misused. After Letby's unsuccessful application for leave to appeal in 2024, Lee convened a panel of 14 medical experts from 6 countries to review all of the cases from Letby's trials. They were provided with medical records and relevant witness testimony by Letby's barrister. On 3rd of February 2025, Lee appeared in a press conference with Letby's barrister, Mark McDonald.
You missed out. We're expected no payment and committed to releasing the findings.
Sorry, I do. Thank you.
Not favour.
Thank you. We're expected no payment and committed to releasing the findings, even if they did not favour Letby. 3rd of February 2025, Lee appeared in a press conference with Letby's barrister, Mark McDonald. And we got the MP David Davis, neonatologist and former president of the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health, Nina Modi. Lee reported to the panel that the panel did not find any murders, and that in all cases, death or injury were due to natural causes or just bad medical care. Days later, he called for Letby to be immediately released from prison and placed under house arrest until the case can be retried. In parallel...
Yeah, but stop there. Do they do house arrest? Because I thought that was like an American thing, like tagging sort of thing. Do they?
Yeah, no, they do it here as well. You can do it here if you want to. Tagging them. They'll tag them so they can't leave the front door.
I thought tagging them, like house arrest, a bit of an American word, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, the tag so you can't get out your front door.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's literally how long should I even go outside? So again.
Isn't house arrest over here just the ankle monitor?
No,
it means she can't leave the house.
She can't leave the house at all.
When she's staying in house, she's under house arrest there.
They have to back into the property
your house and your garden, that's it.
Between at a certain time. As soon as they enter the property, the tag lets the police know they're back in the property that they're bailed to, and they're in the house between a certain time till the next day. So they have like a curfew. House arrest. They can't leave the house at all. So they'll have someone watching the house to make sure they do not leave the house, or they'll have a tag on.
No, it should be on a monitor.
Yeah, so I don't get right. In parallel, Letby's legal team applied to the Criminal Case Review Commission, which deals with potential miscarriages of justice, to review the case.
Before we carry on, big up Ian. Thank you for the two super chats tonight. It's appreciated. Well, that's an expert panel investigations, and let's be honest, when you look at it, you know, it's still going on to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to say one thing though. There's one thing I do disagree on. We're saying natural causes or poor medical care.
But that could be, Stacey. Look,
yeah.
We've all been in situations where
with the liver
we've been
damage
neglected in hospital.
Yeah, I'm thinking the baby with liver damage.
No, Carl, it was all right. I'm glad you did that.
The one the baby with the liver damage. That's one thing that
they all were poorly babies. Let's be honest. They were in that ward for a reason. Yeah. Who's to say that it wasn't natural causes? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Yeah. I'm just flipping the coin and you know bringing us that. So it's not don't seem biased. Who's to say they didn't die of natural causes? Or it was just poor care, but they all pinned it on Lucy because she was a weak person. If you look at us four as a panel, this is no disrespect to Nine either. Me, Susie, and Nye are the stronger people on the panel. So it would be easier, say, if we were doing something to pin it on Nye. Do you get what I'm saying? They look for the weak. I'm not saying this is true, but you, as devil's advocate, said, could it have been natural causes? It could have been. I mean it as a, you know, we're using it as an example now. I don't mean that at all. But if you were looking in an argument, me, Stace, and Cruzy are the older people. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's it. Like,
why did the parents never question any of this?
They didn't even go to
the police. That's what's worrying, isn't it? Why did the parents never go? Do you know what? Yeah. This is a bit fishy. This is. I don't believe my son died this way. None of them ever did. It was somebody in hospital. So that were they protecting themselves and saying, "Oh, we'll pin it on Lucy"? You don't know. It's 50, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's more
to it.
Yeah. There's more to blame than just Lucy.
On me if you want to. I'm not.
There's too many swap wise and wens and not enough evidence to prove she actually.
There's no definitive proof to say. Do you know what? I see her changing that
circumstantial.
Yeah.
There's nothing that that smoking gun, as the saying says.
That's just it.
There's nobody saying, you know what? I see her do that this time, this day, and I've got proof on a camera. You know what I'm saying? It's all hearsay. That's
all circumstantial.
Yeah.
But see, the thing
is, what were you going to say? Let Nye get in.
I said, you can pin anything on me you want to. I wouldn't be off.
That's what I mean. Sorry. That's what I'm trying to say.
But see, the thing is, when you see them babies on a neonatal unit, they are so fragile. I mean, I saw babies where you could actually see every vein in their bodies, and I mean, it was awful. You could even see the heart beating. It's awful. I mean, just the way they pick them up, you've got to be really, really careful. So an injury with the liver could come from a nurse picking a baby up.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like a contribute to liver damage.
They are so fragile. I mean, when John were born, I mean, I'm going back to 89. So when my lad were born, he was 7 weeks early. They had 5 rooms. And you start off at number 1 and you work up to number 5. So if number 5 means you come home. And I saw babies in the lowest rooms, and I was shocked. I actually left that ward crying my eyes out because only parents can go in and grandparents. It was horrendous. So to see it from that point of view, yes, the nurses work hard. It is so easy to hurt a child of that category because they are so small and so fragile. I mean, I was scared when John pulled his tube out of his nose. I said to the nurse,
but there you go. He pulled his own tube out of his nose.
He pulled his own feeding tube out of his nose.
And if you watch any of those videos, they even say that is possible. So you know when people jump the gun and they go for you and say, "Oh, you're definitely saying she's guilty." No, hang on a minute. Hang fire. We'll get to the other side of it in a minute. Playing devil's advocate. Can that be done? Accidental? Yes, it can.
Yes,
so could those deaths be accidental? Yes, they could. Facts. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have a different spin on it. But is the stuff that she can appeal for? Definitely so.
Definitely.
The defence team were piss poor crazy because if I'd have been in charge, I'd have rather represented me fucking self because to bring a plumber on and say, "Oh yeah, I know Lucy, she's a right nice bird." Yeah, really. You need people like at Great Ormond Street. But I said, well, do you know what? Actually, you can pull a breathing tube out. You can do this. It is possible. It's not definitive. That's the issues. In my opinion, it's not a beyond reasonable doubt. And that's what they say. Is it a beyond reasonable doubt? Well, really, no. Because we're all sat here saying, well, this could be done. That could be done. For me, that is not reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt is where you think, well, yeah, that did happen. But we'll move on. Go on, Stairs.
That's the last one.
Is that it? Let them know what we're doing next week, and then we'll get the
that's the next slide.
Last but not least.
And this one's
Mr. Kipper.
Mr. Kipper and Susie Lampkin is next week. I agree. Now, if you guys have got any questions, anything you want to get across, feel free to ask. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I'm glad you prepared with us. Because me and Stace have put a lot of time into this. We have done our research. I think we've given a 50-50 opinion on both sides. And now you guys, it's your chance to ask us anything. But big up for staying with us and being respectful because I appreciate that. Not been a lot of hard work. And we were all very nervous of doing it, but I think we've done all right.
Yeah.
Big up.
The thing is, I also think that the fact that I've experienced how it is on a neonatal unit ward. I know how nurses work. I've worked as a carer myself. The needle, definitely the air is a definite accident can happen. If you don't flick it, you can cause an airlock. I've seen it done. I used to make sure my mum, like I said, when my mum in hospital, I made sure they checked her, everything was checked. And then we found out they were giving insulin. In fact, talk about the insulin. My mum was giving insulin on 96 units a day. She was supposed to have 96 units a day because she wasn't eating anything. So to sit in a room and see doctors and nurses treat you different as a person because they're treating your parent or one of your family members, to have that, it's weird because they don't talk to you. When something happens that's serious, they don't want to communicate with you. They don't want to talk to you in case they say something wrong. Now, I hear with my mum with the tube down the throat, is it going into her heart, into her stomach, going into her lung, the burst her lung. When that happened, the whole atmosphere changed with the doctors, the nurses, and then they drag us into a meeting room and go, well, we're thinking about doing this, we're thinking about it. I said, well, listen, what's your proof? Can you do this? Can you do that? How safe is it? What's going to happen? Can she wake up? Will she still be asleep? What's your choice? What's the options? And to feel that from a doctor, sort of like you walk into a ward where she had her own room, and the doctor actually walks out because you're walking down to a room. It's not because he's finished looking after her, it's because he doesn't want to speak to you. That's why I felt that this thing that we've heard is that there's too many inconsistencies with the things that they've said. Things can be explained, which I've already said. I know how they can be explained. But to sit and be at that end of and then babies in them hospital, I mean, no.
But to be that sure on a judge, like on a jury to say, I'm 100% sure she killed him. Now, this brings us nicely on to what Daz has asked. So I'll go around panel. I'll start with you first, Cruzy. Do you think she was guilty or not guilty?
I think, to be quite honest, I'm 50-50. Because mistakes can happen. We know that can happen. Some of the stuff that they say has happened can be easily made as a mistake. Tube pulling out the nose, air in the injections. You know, there's so many variations of that can happen, this can happen. I mean, maybe she's guilty of not being honest and speaking up and saying, look, listen, I should have spoken out about certain stuff. And that other staff members and doctors should have said something earlier if she's guilty. If she's guilty, then she deserves what she gets. If it's a miscarriage of justice, then fuck me, something needs to be sorted out once and for all. But I am not 100% sure because I think there's more to it than meets the eye. And that's my opinion.
Fair enough. I'll go next. I'm 50-50, to be honest with you, because after we've gone through it all, these questions to be asked on her side as well. Listen, you know, if she has done it, what an evil, manipulative woman. But does she deserve a retrial at the very least? In my opinion, yes, because the clarity of her defence not calling any professional witnesses is quite worrying, in my opinion. And they're paid, they're educated, they're not like us now. We're all, let's be honest, working class ladies on this channel. Now, if we can see that, I'm not sure either way, if I'm honest. But what I will say is, in the fairness of justice, I think she deserves a retrial. And to make sure, beyond reasonable doubt, that she is guilty of what she's committed, because the evidence, yes, there's a lots of circumstantial evidence, but you know what? Sending a card to somebody, that could mean she was compassionate as well. She cared about her job. You've got two twists to that. Just like them notes, that's your own interception of what you think has happened. Not definitely saying she's done it. Nobody ever see her do anything. So could she be made a scapegoat? Quite possibly. So in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion at the end of the day, at the very least, I think she deserves a retrial and to be convicted beyond reasonable doubt. Because in my opinion, what I'm reading at the minute, I don't think you convicted her beyond reasonable doubt. These babies are poorly and all said and done. So could they have died of natural causes? Quite possibly. And could she have done what they said she did? Also quite possibly. But if that lady ends up spending the rest of her life in prison for something she didn't do, and we have seen plenty of miscarriage of judgments in the past. Let's be really honest with that. You can never say 100%. Everybody that's been convicted is 100% being convicted, because they haven't. And there's been plenty of cases that we will get into in the weeks and the years coming that we'll get into. But I can tell you now, at the very least, she deserves a retrial. And to convict her beyond reasonable doubt. And I would like to see her defence team bring some prosecution witnesses that can say, do you know what? That breathing tube can be removed. This can happen. Because really, it's 70% that the prosecution have spoken and only 30% for her. So and when I hear from her defence and they say, well, yeah, actually, you did do it, I think she does deserve a retrial, in my opinion. I'll move to you, Stacey, next.
I'm saying 50-50 at the moment. It's like remove the feeding tubes and like the air ambulances and stuff. You don't actually truly know the age of these babies, because we call babies up to a baby till they're a year old, don't we? Roughly. So we don't know how old these babies are. We know some are premature, but we don't know.
Not all babies are neonatal units. They're all premature babies. They're all premature. That's why it's a neonatal unit. That's what it's for.
That throws that out of the question. Yeah, but there is.
Sorry, I had to make sure you understood that. Yeah, no, it's all babies born early so that they've got a fighting chance.
There is some unanswered questions that need to be answered. Her defence was appalling. I'm glad she's got a new defence team that could probably give her a better fighting
chance. And you know as well as I do, you've watched some of those recent ones that have been done, and their opinions are a little bit different to what was said in trial. A lot of them did actually back Lucy and said, well, do you know what? There could have been a different explanation to this. So
I actually think it might have been a doctor.
It's very flimsy, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, they have stated from the start that
I see her do that. She definitely did it. I found this in her body. Like with
and it's never been proven.
Beverly Allen, they had that proof sort of thing because they had the levels in the system. But let's be honest, it's a 50-50 because how she's if she has done it, she's kind of done it in a way where these questions to be asked, and if she is innocent, then I'm sorry, what a cruel way to spend your life in prison when you haven't done it. And in my opinion, let's get a clean slate, both sides, get it back in court. Let's hear both sides from all the witnesses and then make judgments, because I think
But
that
see, the
defense
thing
team
is,
are quite poor.
they're going to do that, but they're going to get a jury that's going to sit there and listen to everything that's going on, and they're still going to have that perception that she's guilty because it's been done before.
Now, that could be spot on. She could be incompetent, but she might
Yeah.
not be a murderer. And I agree. If that's the case, she should never nurse ever again. But it's not just her that you have to lay the blame at, pal. There's higher than her up there that have got away with it, basically, to pin it all on her, if that is the case. So when you think about, she should have never, after the first time, she should have never been a nurse again, in my opinion. Anyway,
I agree. The same, Jess. Based on the first
incident, they dealt with it and opened their eyes and gone, do you know what?
Yeah.
You don't give that amount of morphine. You're struck off. Find a different profession. None of this would have happened now. But did they do their job at the top? No.
The second instance, she should have been scratched off as well with the antibiotics.
Exactly. The NHS have a lot to answer, Stace.
If she is guilty, say she's done it, right? If she's done it,
she's
banged up.
They've proven the first two, right? She had to go from the insulin. No morphine, won't it?
I agree. If she's done it, she's done it in jail.
Mm-hmm.
In your case comes out and the verdict's still the same, guilty. They need to bring the people within the NHS that are responsible for her being able to do this. They need to be brought to account for as well, because they have let this happen by not striking her off the first time.
Exactly. Well, the first time, maybe you can put that down to a slip.
Yeah.
But the second time, her card should have been marked and it should have been, look.
Exactly.
You will never, ever work in medicine again. So, with some responsibility, they're just as guilty as Lucy Letby. If she's true,
they are guilty by association. For
you know what I'm saying? They allowed that to happen.
They
didn't do their job properly. There's many twists to this, but that's true, Stace. If you look at it and you say, well, Lucy Letby's guilty, what about all the rest of them then? Because none of them did their job and got a set of bollocks and fucking dealt with that problem.
Exactly.
So they allowed that to happen.
But they did. If anyone in the right mind would see them first two incidences where clearly she's messed up, I'm using messed up in the light term.
Yeah.
She should have been struck off the register like that. No suspension. No, letting her out, appeal it a week later and get.
She gave a baby 10 times morphine.
Retraining. Come on. It's not like speeding down motorway cruising, doing 10 miles per hour at 70. You know, you're affecting somebody's life after day.
Yeah.
And you know what the sad thing is? If she has done it, she has to live with that for the rest of her life in prison. And you better believe she won't get no easy time in there. But if she hasn't done it, what a rotten way to spend your rest of your life in prison if you're innocent.
Yeah, and we know that.
There's miscarriages of justice. We know that. The Cardiff 6. We could go on. There's people that have spent time in prison.
I agree with your point of view.
Yeah, there has been a lot of miscarriages in this country where
people
have
been... For that Cardiff 6.
Parents. Yeah. So this goes to a retrial. And I said, like I said, goes to retrial. The verdict's still the same. She's guilty. She's done it.
I just want to see a little bit more substance to it, Stacey.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
It's
and let's see what
she's
got to say.
You know, circumstantial evidence is quite damning. In my opinion, the circumstantial evidence is quite damning.
Well, did she get a fair trial with her defense?
No, I do not think her trial was fair. Because
no, I don't.
Who in the right mind in her defense?
Well, listen, even fucking what do we call it? As you get a solicitor if you're arrested in police station, what do they call that word? If you can't afford a solicitor, you get it on.
Probate.
What's that word you get if you haven't got money to pay for the solicitor?
Oh, fucking
on duty solicitor.
You get an on-duty solicitor that you don't pay for, right? Even they do a better job than what he did. Why did that guy not bring anybody for her defence? That's what bugs me.
Yeah, Vindy's agreed. The 2013, the incident with the morphine.
Pro bono, thank you, Cuba. Pro bono.
So, pro bono, The thing is, right, in 2013, she admitted she made a mistake with the morphine. And then she admitted again that she made a mistake with the
antibiotics.
Which then in itself then thinks like if she hasn't done any more after that and somebody else has done it and they pinned it on her, she's there, she's an easy target.
So that's time.
I'm saying I've experienced how NHS works. I've got friends that work in NHS, and I mean, don't get me wrong, they do a fantastic job. Some do, some don't. But I've experienced it from both sides, and I'd like to say that they do a good job, but sometimes it slips, and it has been proven that it slips. You know, again, about the blood scandal. See, look, blood scandal again. They got away for so long.
Legal aid. Thank you, Jules.
Yeah. The blood scandal that's going on now, people die because they got infected blood. My mum's one of them that got infected blood. And I'm having to fight now to get my mum's money that she's entitled to, even though she's not here no more. She's entitled to it. The mistakes have made not just now, but from the past. And they're still making mistakes now in the future when they shouldn't be making them at all. They should be stopped. It should have been done and finished with. Today's technology and the way that they are trained should at least prove a point that, you know, they need to do a job properly. If they can't do it properly, then they shouldn't be doing it at all. It's as simple as that. It's like me going back to being a carer, doing home care, visiting 10, 15, 20 clients a day to make sure they've got food, medication, they've got water, they've got everything they need, and not doing my job properly. I could not live with the fact that if I hadn't done my job correctly, I couldn't do that job. And I love that job, and I'd go back tomorrow if I had a chance, but I can't do it. I've got my dad and we've got son to look after. Oh, and silly bitch here.
Gets it by you.
Yeah.
Look, we've spent a lot of time in this, to be fair, and I do hope that you've seen a different side to us all, that we can actually sit down, have a discussion, have a difference of opinion, but respect each other's opinion, and that we actually are as daft as we look. Because I hope you've seen that we can do some sort of polish shows, maybe away from football, so be it, but we can actually do
serious shit.
A serious channel and bring up the pros and cons and, you know, the rights and wrongs in that case, because yes, there's a lot of damning evidence, but there's also questions to be asked. And I think at the bare minimum, I don't think it'll happen, but I would like to see a retrial, because I'm unsure. I can't lie. You know, you look at it and you think, well, you know, it swings more in favour that she is guilty, but can you imagine spending the rest of your life in prison for something that you haven't done, especially for the crime she's been committed of? Her life will be hell in there. Facts. Well, I hope this has kind of brought an insight into that we can actually be a little bit polished. We can do a structured kind of show, and that we do put a bit of time and effort into it. And we all done as research on it. We haven't just come on here and thought, oh yeah, we'll just talk waffle for 3 hours. We've actually done a lot of work with it, and every week we'll do something different, and I'm sure it will bring difference of opinions. Next week, it won't change my opinion because I'm dead set on what I am. But next week, if we want to do a research, it's Susie Lampoon next week. Same time, but it might be Sunday because Liverpool are playing Brentford on the Saturday. So I might do it on Sunday at 9 o'clock just because I don't want to cram four streams into that. But, you know, I hope it's got you thinking in the aspect of, you know, it's not just as clear cut as it really looks. I don't think I'll live that long. I can't lie. No, really?
At least you waited till the end to say it, Jess.
But feel free, if you want to give us any feedback before we do wrap this one up, feel free to do that. And then we'll get off. Well, we can actually be polished-ish.
Yeah. I forgot how much noise I did in my brain.
It was nice to have a debate. I can't lie, away from football. And that was a really good debate, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Ian. And thank you, Ian, again. It is true that you have seen another side of us. And, you know, if you like it, I hope that we can do another one next week. But I'd rather hear your opinion. If you hated it, I'd rather you tell us. And we don't have to waste us time. But if not, let us know.
What's that research? Fuck that. I'm all about the waffle and the...
People like the gentleman that came in, and I'm being polite, the gentleman that came in prior needs to keep this shut until we've done with it.
Until you bias the showing, because your videos are absolutely obsessed with Lucy Letby.
That's why I
been impartial.
It's on his...
He is obsessed with this girl. I kid you not.
Yeah, he is.
You scroll down his channel.
It's all
Her
Lucy.
name is in every video.
Yes.
I get
Start
research.
first. I'll have a.
I get researching and stuff. Doing a few videos. Every video.
I think we've give both sides, so we haven't just give what they've said, the prosecution. I think we give more defence than what her defence team give her in court, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we've actually given her some credit.
Yes, fuck off.
That the gentleman has stayed around long enough. It would have seen that. But no, because he
I never said she was guilty.
No.
Exactly.
£50
if he's still even hovering around, we never said she was guilty. This was us going for what is public knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gave our opinion after the fact.
And that's
so if
it.
you're going to come
As
back
a
in again on another case,
this is only our opinion at the end of the day.
Yep.
Until the end. Do not interject until at least let us get through the power.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a little bit too pushy for my liking. He's lucky I didn't kick him out.
Yeah.
It came close. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we've expressed what we think, and
it's only our opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're not experts. We're just giving our opinion on the evidence that was put there above us. We might be right, we might be wrong, but it's just an opinion. We're not experts, we're not criminologists. We're just looking at the evidence given and giving a side for both sides. And I think we've been very impartial to both sides, to be honest with you. And we've made you think, if nothing else, we've looked at it and said, well, do you know what? It's not a clear cut as it looks, to be honest with you.
No.
These arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
And at the bare minimum, does she deserve a retrial? Yes.
Yes.
I do agree with that, because there is conflicting evidence, and her defence team was absolutely shocking, in my opinion. I'm not saying she did it or she didn't do it neither.
Yeah. On her defence team alone, Jess, she should have demanded a retrial. I think she demanded retrial initially because of it being in the media. She should have demanded a retrial because the complete incompetence of her team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her team. A fucking plumber. Come on.
Where's the plumber come from? I don't understand it.
How the
I call to you the plumber who works the diner rod.
How the fuck did the judge allow that to happen?
See, that's what I mean. They brought a plumber in to give evidence.
Plumber.
Where's the nurses? Where's the doctors?
Tell you what, I just took this big shit out of Lucy Letby's toilet. That makes it guilty.
How? Where's all
how come the judge allowed that to happen? A plumber?
I don't understand why the kids allowed that to happen.
No, he just been not
be a doctor.
He was just, they got a plumber in. And he talked about the state of the plumbing in the hospital and stuff like him.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with the case?
There's too many ifs and buts.
There's a bit too many question marks for my liking. Not many I's dotting the T's, if that makes sense, Cruz.
I mean, you see, I mean, doing that we did on the screen, putting the stuff down, was good for me, because I could then recall.
I didn't just want to go live and sit here waffling. I wanted something on screen that is actual court documents that I've put my interpretation on and spent 2 days typing it up. Do you know what I'm saying? I haven't just done it in 5 minutes. I've spent all week like Stacey. You know,
see, I didn't need to, because I already know about it anyway, because I was telling you about it yesterday.
An hour each, 3 hours, watching one documentary, then another, and just back me up, because I was talking to watching it, and another. I watched 3 documentaries on Lucy Letby in one sitting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we would like to know, why they called the plumber and nobody else.
You see?
Yeah.
That's an honest opinion. Why did they bring the plumber in?
Why did they bring the plumber in? Why didn't her defence call experts?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
In her defence, just based on her defence team alone, she should get a retrial.
Yeah.
The incompetence of her defence team
beyond
is grounds for retrial.
At least let her get her say across with independent expert witnesses that can say, well, do you know what? This can happen. Yes, exactly. And we've said that. If you've listened to anything we've said, her defence team are absolutely dog shit. Does she deserve a retrial? Yes. Because just to call a plumber and no expert witnesses is absolutely lame on their behalf. So am I 100% sure she did it? No, I'm not. Would I like to see her get a retrial? Yes, I would.
Yeah.
And maybe step back from your obsession.
This is it,
as well,
Marvin. You came in, right, and you get a chance to finish. Some of the stuff that she's been accused of, right? Like
I had to go through everything. It'd be unfair just to go through the new bits and not the old bits. I wanted to give a full picture to everybody. There's a lot of holes in there that don't need to be questioned. Were her defense team absolutely shit? Yes, they fucking was.
Don't get mad at me.
I'm not getting mad at you. You were coming for us before we'd even give our own opinion. Does she need a retrial? And does it need to be qualified beyond reasonable doubt? Yes, it does. Because there is questions to be answered there. Were her defensive shit? Yes, they fucking were. And does it need it? Yes, it does.
You did not give us a chance to go through the whole presentation.
I cannot just say half. I have got to give 2 and 4 and be impartial as a panel. This is only our opinions at the end of the day. We are not experts. But at the very least, she does deserve a retrial.
I mean,
her defense give evidence.
You came in hot
about the
was insulting. You insulted me by me saying already 58 page.
Yeah, because there you go. You didn't hear the whole thing. You judged it before we'd even got to the end of it. And everybody on this panel has said, you know what? We're not sure. I can't change people's opinion in chat. They're allowed their opinion.
I mean, you insulted the panel on our research. You insulted the panel on our research.
Yeah.
You insulted me because I said I wrote it at 58 page. You did not let me say I sat for 3 hours straight reading.
Hang on a minute. Apologise. We'll leave it at that.
You know, you need to sit and think. Hang on a minute. Let the ladies finish what they were saying.
The thing is,
exactly, judges at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not ever going to sit on here unless there's 100% evidence that says she has done it.
I've proven that some of the things she's been accused of, like i.e. the air in the tubing, I've proven that you've got to make sure that if you're giving an injection into a tube, you've got to make sure there's no air. So that's my question of why did they say she did that with another?
They interpreted the letters in a totally different way. It could have been exactly. We'd all interpret it in a different way. Did she have a fair trial? Not in my opinion. No. But her defence have got a lot to answer for. Exactly. Not the busy. Her defence.
The judge also needs to be fucking called into. Why did you allow a plumber? Yeah, Garrett, right, fair enough. There was a sewage issue.
Yeah, but why didn't you say out and say, look, I want this, and this person? Because if you watch those documentaries, there's a woman on there, and she was the one that had to suspend her, that were absolutely adamant that she hadn't done it. So why didn't she get called to stand on and give evidence? Yeah. Why want the character witnesses? Yeah. There's a lot to be answered. So in my opinion, at the bare minimum, she needs a retrial. So none of us are sat on here as a panel saying, well, Lucy's 100% guilty. Because none of us can swear on Bible that she actually is. Like next week, it's a little bit different because my opinion will not change from that. On this one, I'll be honest with you, my own interpretation and what I've done has changed my opinion on it. There you go. You know, everybody can speculate anything. In my opinion, at the bare minimum, she deserves a retrial.
She does.
That's it. You're allowed to
say at the start, it is circumstantial evidence. I give
her defence has a lot to answer why she's in the news. Because if she'd had a good defence, she probably wouldn't have been where she is now. Facts.
She has wasted all her appeals. She can't appeal again. Hence why they're going to another system.
And if the court
for a case review out there,
and if that doesn't win, well, you know, her defence does have a lot to answer.
If they turn around and say that's it, they're not going to retrial. We have to accept the fact that she has been found guilty of murdering and attempted murder. If they say, no, that's it, done, dusted, they're taking the circumstantial evidence as it is, they're taking the jury's they're taking the jury's decision, that is it. She's guilty, whether we believe she's guilty or not. If they said they are not going to give her a retrial and review her case, that is it. She's done. Whether she did it or not,
whether she's guilty or not,
cannot be overturned.
Yeah. I would hope that looking at that they would say, do you know what? She has got the right to appeal that case. Because I think at the very bare minimum that they should hear from expert witnesses from the defence and say, well, do you know what? I'm not saying, listen, juries have got it wrong as well. Plenty of times we've said this. There has been plenty of miscarriage of justice.
Yeah.
We're not stupid.
We never said.
We know that.
The law goes, she was found guilty by a jury of her peers. If this goes to review, and the review board turn around and say, no, we are not going to go any further with this. The verdict by the jury stands. That's it. In the eyes of the law, she was found guilty by a jury of her peers.
And I'm not saying that jury were right neither.
That's it. Done dust. She's not it. She's
their interpretation.
What do you mean we're gullible?
I'm not gullible.
What do you mean we're gullible?
Saying, look, the defence team. If anybody's got any questions to answer, it's her defence team. Facts.
You've come in
not
hot.
The jury, they can only listen to what's presented in court.
Yep.
So,
the jury does not have to be qualified. The jury was selected in the eyes of the law. She was found guilty of a jury of her peers. That is what it states by law. She was found guilty by her. She was found guilty by the jury of her peers.
It's her defence team.
We're not saying we agree with it. But that's what the law states.
Don't need to go into it. If you've got a problem, feel free to write to her defence team because they're the reason why she's in where she is. Not because we're gullible. We're actually saying here, at best, she deserves a retrial. That ain't being gullible. That's being impartial. So maybe you're a bit obsessed with her.
We're not.
We can see things with a clear.
You are obsessed with her.
Exactly. And on that note, guys,
we are entitled to ours. Do not come in calling us gullible.
We're not.
I'm not
admitted you missed the first part. If you sat down and watched from the beginning to this point, you'll know we're not gullible.
I ain't gullible.
We are saying what we have been put in front of us is being put in front of us as facts by the courts. Whether we agree with it or not, that's the be all and end all.
You might think she's 100% innocent. I don't. I think she's got case for a retrial, and that's it. Simple as.
And if they say no,
the fact is that some of the stuff that said can be explained. It's as simple as that.
If they say no, they are not going to review the case. She is guilty in the eyes of the law and guilty by the jury of her peers.
She is pending appeal. So if on appeal she wins it, then she will be proven innocent. At the minute, a jury have convicted her. If you have a problem, then that's fair enough.
There we go.
Speak to her defence because we didn't represent her in court. Because maybe if we did, she might not have got found guilty. Because their defence team need to answer the questions, not us. Because I think as person, wait a minute, Stairs, please. We have been impartial. We've not said we say she's 100% guilty or not. This is our opinion. Your opinion might say she's 100% innocent. That is your opinion. I'm not going to come to you for that, and you're not going to come for us for that because it's just her opinion. The defence team have got a lot to answer why they didn't call expert witnesses. It ain't us. We want in court with her. Her defence team will. She's got a new one now, and hopefully, in the eyes of the law, she will get a retrial. But we didn't convict her. Just remember that. She was convicted by the jury, and they convicted her because, unfortunately, her defence team didn't bring much in to overwhelm the jury and say, oh, do you know what? I'm not sure. Beyond reasonable doubt. So if anybody's got the issue, really, it's the defence team that represented her in court. And that's the end of the matter. This is just our opinions. We're not experts. We're not professionals. That's it. Done with.
Yeah, I want to ask Murphy's opinion, right? Put all aside.
I want to go to bed.
The baby thing. Do you believe on the two things that have been proven, which is the morphine and the antibiotics, she still been practicing medicine on them two that have been proven?
No.
Not the baby things.
But that again is incompetence by the management.
And I can say that because I'm trained to do medication and stuff like that. If she's made them two mistakes, she should not be doing any care, looking after any children or any adults because she's a danger.
Well, there you go. Look at her.
So you've not done your research.
Before she was convicted and when she was first starting out. The two cases.
10 times more.
2 cases. Baby herself and a senior nurse.
Yeah, when she was in training.
10 times. Baby was given 10 times a dose of morphine. She was put, and
not just the senior staff as well. We're both culpable.
Was put on leave.
Yeah.
But then not saying not 10 times. Error of antibiotics.
Anyway, we could go on all night with this. I think the people that
I'm
matter.
trained to give out medication, so I know what to do with medication. You just been an ass. Sorry.
Anyway,
That's a hot take, that
the
one.
people that matter have been in tonight. He's got his opinion. He might be right. He might be wrong. We may be right. We may be wrong. But at the least, in my opinion, she deserves a retrial. I'm not arguing with people because at the end of the day, this guy's never been in our streams. He's never been in our community. So it's irrelevant. That's his opinion. We have ours. I think we've been fair with him being impartial. The ones that matter have been in here. They've liked it. They've enjoyed it. Mervyn probably hasn't enjoyed it because we answered, well, 100% she's innocent. But we also answered 100% she's guilty. So you take that at your peril. But if you have got a problem with her conviction, I would write to her defence team because they're the ones that presented her in court, not us. And on that note, guys, bless up for everybody that's joined us. It's been an absolute privilege. We've been going 2 hours and 25 minutes. I have done stream since 12 o'clock today, so I'm going to bed. It has been an absolute, exactly that, Drooler. Opinions are like assholes. We've all got one. There you go. Well, if you've enjoyed it, there we go. Right, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you liked it, subscribe, like, and share. All that nice sort of stuff. Big up to Ian for the 2 super chats. It's appreciated as always. Big up to the real ones in the chat. They know they are supporting the channel every day like they do. It's just an opinion. This is a disclaimer. It's just our opinion. We may be right. We may be wrong. We're not experts and we've never said we are. We're all allowed an opinion. Some people think she's guilty. Some people think she's innocent. And some people think she deserves a retrial. That's what this is all about, a discussion. You believe what you want to believe. That's my opinion. That's Stacey's opinion. That's Cruz's opinion. And on that note, this has been JSY Talks Football. We've definitely been ourselves as always on this channel. I think we've given a good and balanced opinion on each and every one of us. We will be back tomorrow for Aston Villa versus Tottenham, Liverpool versus Manchester United. And on that note, it's a good night from me.
It's a good night from her.
And it's a good night from all of us. Bye for night.
It's a bye for night. Do yourself a favour, have a think on it. Everybody's had their own opinion. You can flip-flop, you can change, but these questions to be asked. And on that note, we will see you next Saturday for Crime Night, next Sunday, which will be Susie Lampo and Mr. Kipper. And on that note, get to that bar, Vindaloo, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Leeds United, dancing bright, spend our army up all night,
laughing, sharing, having fun. The beat goes on, we just begun.
like and share, let's all unite. Tottenham crew, feeling right. Goodbye from me, from her, from us. The party's here, no need to rush.
Army strong, the baseline drops.
Spin around, the fun won't stop. Laughs and cheers.